Welcome in, McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. It is 7 a.m. Wednesday, the 16th of April. Glad you're with us. The transfer portal opens today. What are your expectations? What would you want for your team if you could have a player at a certain position come in that you think could help? Is there a guy out there that we know is already in, that you think is already in, that you wish he would come on down into your program? Who are you looking at there? Should be a wild day. There's always the names that have already let people know they intend to enter the transfer portal, and they are going to be there at some point. So we've got those that we can get to with you today. We've got Pat Dooley talking Florida coming up at 7:15. The Florida spring game, I think it was an actual game, took place over the weekend. So we'll get his thoughts on how the team looked, the expectations with DJ Lagway, as he has not been full go during spring practice. And then Pete Nakos, the transfer portal king, will join us at 8 a.m. this morning to give us updates on who potentially could be going in, who he's looking for to maybe be in, and who's already in and where they could end up. Also get the latest in the Nico Iamaleava situation, which, Greg, it sounds like UCLA probably the only team, I don't know, that's even really in the running, not necessarily the front runner. I don't know how many teams are actually in the running for Nico anymore, as yesterday it came out that Tulane was no longer in the mix, which I feel like we wondered why anybody that thought they ever would be in the mix. Just not a real thing. But
need would be about the only reason. But also, if he's commanding a paycheck like that, does Tulane have access to resources like that? Remove the John Summerall angle, remove every other aspect of it. Like, if it's about money, why would Tulane be the destination?
Yeah, not if it was the same ask as it was at Tennessee. It's probably not going to be a real thing. So there's a lot to that one. We'll keep you updated on Nico Iamaleava, where he could end up landing, and what looks like could be maybe his next destination. But what do you expect today? What are you looking for today out of the transfer portal?
How many guys go in? I feel like every time the portal opens, everyone talks about how crazy it's going to be. Oh my gosh, well, just wait. And it always kind of underwhelms. Have you noticed that?
I don't know about always. I mean, those first two were pretty crazy. I mean, because I think then the next time, and then time after that, that's when all the hype started to build and people started to talk about it. And then it kind of didn't live up to the expectation. Then it wasn't really as advertised. But I do feel like for the most part, those first couple that we got, just because we didn't really know what to expect, were pretty bananas. But then, yeah, because what was it, last spring, last fall, last winter, when literally everybody said the landscape of the sport's about to change. Wait till you see all these guys going in. And it just wasn't even anywhere near what the rumors we're hearing are insanity.
You should hear who's going in.
Which, I saw a lot of that last night. But it comes from the guys that cover it too. So what do they want you to do?
Click.
I mean, here's the thing. When I see a tweet and it says, hearing rumors that portal season's going to be crazy, can't wait, subscribe now with a link. It probably downplays my expectations for what's exactly going to happen in the portal.
Why?
So what are you going to run out of subscriptions tomorrow when it gets crazy and I can't all of a sudden find a way to log into your website?
Bandwidth.
Subscribe now. We could run out of space.
You're a big data guy.
Well, are we out of hardware? Are we out of cloud space? Like, what are we running out of?
Well, cloud space and hardware, quite literally the opposite. So I feel
Either
great
one.
about it.
Are we out of both?
I don't know.
What would we need to
Tariffs.
be out where?
Tariffs.
Firmware?
We don't have the chips.
We're out of firmware. We're out of megabytes. Can't join our site anymore. Too bad you don't get to learn about the portal because you didn't join yesterday.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure you'll take my money tomorrow and the next day and the day after. Calm down. Just calm down.
Yep.
We'll figure it out. And by the way, when you pull the trick about clicking your link about where a kid's committed, there's 14 other sites that I can go click on.
No.
Yeah.
For free?
Just report it.
Dang it. What about Twitter?
That's kind of when I say click on other sites, it's usually, there's 7 dedicated transfer portal Twitter accounts. I feel like I can get what I need there. I'll be okay.
You think you'll find it?
I got a chance.
My problem is I'm all for paying a subscription and due to many of these places. Happy to do it. I feel like it's beneficial. It's supporting people to do it the right way. My problem are the inflammatory tweets. Oh, you will not believe how big this is going to be. I have a huge story dropping tomorrow. Subscribe now. you're going to love what you hear. And then you subscribe and you're like, all right, what happened? Where'd it go? You got me. You took my dollar. You took my dollar. And I won't soon forget, because you actually might have Scoop down the road, but guess what? I ain't buying. Out. So I do think that there is a little bit of cat and mouse. And let's be real, man. A lot of people's jobs depend on the transfer portal being chaotic. Yeah, that's beneficial to people's way of life. And I support that. I want it to be chaotic too, if you want me to be completely honest. In this line of work, you think I want it to be easy? You think I want it to be quiet and ho-hum? Absolutely not. I want the biggest names. If Jackson Arnold went in the portal today, it'd be great for the radio show. I root for the radio show.
I just think it's interesting if that's the direction you went.
Keelan Russell.
That would be good
anyone.
for the show.
I'm just saying, like, anyone that goes in the portal that is on Bama or Auburn. Look at Nico Iamaleava. It gave us how many hours of content?
Less than one.
It should have been more.
It was more.
Well, it was a lot. It doesn't matter who. Gunnar Stockton, Arch Manning. I don't care. Jump in.
Arch would be a big one.
People would react to that.
That would be big. We talked about him yesterday. Oklahoma gets Cal running back Jaden Ott. It was one that we sort of bounced back and forth. He is now committed. And that Oklahoma offense looks like, Greg, it's going to have a chance to be pretty good this year.
I mean, was he the missing piece?
No, I'm not going to say that. But they continue to stack up guys that are of need, and they're going to help get them better, which I think is of the utmost importance if you're going to help the big pieces that you already have. John Mateer, if he's going to be successful, offensive line's going to have to be better. We know that. Better than last year for certain. But now you get a running back that can be a hammer and a guy that you can lean on at times that I think defenses are going to have to respect. I mean, you're going to have to respect his capabilities, and you're not going to be able to play a lighter box, even if you can just get a hat on a hat, because he can run through guys and make guys miss. So it's I just think it's a really good get for Oklahoma.
I think it's a great get. I think he can do a lot of things. He's a 3-down back, and if you look at their backs, it's not that they were bad. They just weren't difference makers. You know, I mean, they weren't game changers. So I think he is a game changer. And I'll be really curious to see what he does with an improved supporting cast. While Fernando Mendoza last year was pretty good, their quarterback, I don't feel like they were great at really any position on the offensive line. I don't feel like they had a super dynamic wide receiver. I feel like they were fine. They were a solid roster. But now you put them on a roster with some legitimate juice that could kind of open up things for him, because he was the one guy you had to take away when you were playing Cal.
The big name this morning that is in the transfer portal would be Louisiana Tech wide receiver Dakotas Crawford. He is in the transfer portal, so he will be available to other schools. Louisiana product, as you know, originally to Nebraska with the NIL deal in high school, which made a ton of noise. So a lot of people know him for some other things, but a big wide receiver with a lot of talent hits the portal there.
I honestly didn't even know that he had done anything in college. Is that bad? Like, I remember the commercials.
Well, he didn't record a catch last year.
What? Oh, no.
But no, you said, dude, has he done anything in college? He didn't catch the ball last year.
As a receiver? How did he block?
I hadn't seen the tape. I'll have to go check it. But also in 23, did not record a reception in Nebraska, I don't believe.
Oh, no. Oh, no. The coldest.
Like you said, has he?
So his catching streak is the coldest.
Yes. Well, it's not often when you see a guy that has more commercials than catches. You just don't see that very often.
It's a hell of a stat line, though.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie, I respect it.
More commercials than catches.
You also more commercials than catches in your career.
Fair. Did not record a reception.
Happens.
Got more cut blocks than commercials, though.
I believe I'm more commercials than catches, but it is by one.
Just one.
Just one.
Just a single one. Got it.
Singular.
Okay.
Actually, never mind. I don't think I ever recorded a catch.
Oklahoma also in the mix for Jake Maikula from Stanford, interior offensive lineman that is down to UCLA and Oklahoma. Does UCLA all of a sudden have money to spend? I don't know their situation. I honestly do not. Almost feel like it'd be worth getting somebody on the covers UCLA just to see like what is the deal there right now. We just have no idea if they have money to spend, what the staff's going to look like, what the expectation is. Are more than 1,000 people going to show up for a game at the Rose Bowl?
Is UCLA one of the worst situations / best situations in America?
I don't know if I could go /best because
it's like nobody cares
where you live and where you go to work. I don't
go
feel
2
like,
and 10 and nobody cares. You probably still have a job.
I feel like people care because we're always looking to fire coaches and we're always looking to talk about guys that are not living up to the expectations. I would also imagine that your salary could be a lot better at other schools, particularly one down the street. But where you work and where you go to work every day, and I don't know if you could actually afford to live around campus if you the money that they're making, specifically with the state income taxes. But you didn't live too far from campus, it'd still be pretty nice.
No, I think it'd be great. I can tell you this though: if you're making $500,000, I think that
you're not living very close to campus.
$500,000 is going a lot further in Fayetteville.
I just don't know I don't even know like if it's a situation. I just have no idea because we hear about the Nico deal and we hear about a couple other guys in the portal that are considering UCLA. I just don't know what their situation is. Do they have an opportunity to do anything this year?
But if UCLA, for example, is going after Nico, are they bidding against themselves? Seriously, I don't know I have not talked to a single coach that is in any way, shape, or form interested in him. Now, are they telling the truth? I don't know. I can't tell you that for sure. But I have not heard one guy because they say that with him comes a whole host of additional issues. Like showing the ability that you don't care if you come back to the table and renegotiate because it's obvious that that's exactly what Nico did. You took him in. So now you're sending a message to your own team that you're open for business. That's the sentiment I continue to get.
Yeah. Where do you think UCLA went last year? I wouldn't have known. I mean,
what do I think their record was?
Yeah.
4-8.
5-7. Better than I would have guessed.
They had reeled off a couple wins there against like Nebraska.
You mean it didn't start very great. You won at Hawaii and you lost 5 straight.
Yes. Then they reeled off a couple. Like they beat Nebraska.
Beat Rutgers, beat Nebraska, beat Iowa. Lost 2 in a row, Washington, USC, and then beat Fresno State.
Not terrible.
I didn't anticipate it was going to be 5 wins. I thought it was going to be 3, maybe 4.
Nah. Nope, not terrible. Not terrible at all.
So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe UCLA is going to be in the market for some players that normally we would not have said that they were going to be in the market for. Ole Miss got Ferris State quarterback Trinidad Chambly or Chambliss, one or the other. Are we going Chambly or Chambliss?
I'm going to Chambliss.
John, Chambly or Chambliss?
Yeah, it's Chambliss.
He threw for 2,925 yards, 26 touchdowns, ran for 1,019 yards and 25 touchdowns at Ferris State last year. Haven't seen the tape on Ferris State. Haven't even seen their schedule, actually.
Where is Ferris State?
The United States of America.
Really?
I assume Illinois, where Bueller went.
Michigan.
Ferris State football.
Big Rapids. Not Grand. Big.
They won the national championship in D2.
Last year?
Yeah.
I mean, you got a quarterback doing that. I think you probably have a pretty good chance.
Yep, D2. National championship. They have also in the past, they've won 3 of the last 4, actually, national championships. They've beaten Valdosta State twice and Colorado School of the Mines once.
Don't tell Coach Hatcher
that. They play at Top Taggart Field. Seating capacity.
Is that like Willie Taggart's grandfather, you think? Or like the top Taggart of them all?
Might be. Seating capacity of Top Taggart, 6,200.
Heck yeah. Jam them in there and let them go. Their website says we build champions.
My high school
top
stadium.
10 online information technology master's program, John.
Oh, the Masters again? Or I thought it was last
Yes.
If you're interested.
I'm always interested.
There you go. I haven't seen the tape. I assume you haven't seen the tape on Trinidad Chambly or Chambliss. One or the other.
I mean, it sounds like he's a dude.
They also, I don't know how you feel about this. They got a commitment yesterday from a 3-star quarterback, Reese Wise from Westlake Carroll.
Westlake Carroll?
Westlake? I don't know. I thought it was all Carroll.
Or Southlake Carroll?
Westlake.
What's his name?
Reese Wise, quarterback.
R-E-C-E?
R-E-E-S. Wise.
Reese.
W-I-S-E.
Oh, Tommy's cousin.
Can I buy a vowel?
Reese Wise. Westlake. That's in Austin.
Wait.
You always do
hold
this.
on, wait a second. Did you say Reese?
Yeah, that's probably what he goes by.
No,
Reese.
there's no Z in it.
Okay.
How could he go by Reese? It's Reese. R-E-E-S. Who pronounces that Reese?
Reese.
No.
I bet you he goes by Reese.
His name is not Reese. It's not R-E-E-Z-E.
I'm not saying it has to be pronounced that way.
I have never seen someone whose name was spelled R-E-E-S or R-E-E-S-E pronounce their name Reese.
Well, hey, he doesn't have an E at the end.
Give me a famous Reese.
None.
After
but
after you complete your ruse.
I do
Here
know
on the
that
show.
Reese usually finishes with an E. Like Reese Witherspoon, Reese Davis. Reese is R-E-E-S.
Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, it ends with an E. Reese's.
What about Reese Hoskins? How you spell that one?
R-H-Y-S?
Or Y-H-S, one or the other, yeah.
And I believe that's Reese. Reese.
Should
Reese.
his be Reese?
Right.
I've never heard of a Reese before.
Well, I've never heard of this Reese either. But he's going to Ole Miss, hard commitment. And he's from Westlake. Why do you always confuse the two? I don't confuse Homewood and Hoover, and they both start with H. Like it's not
called the same thing.
It's not that hard.
If there was a Homewood and a Homewood Lake, then yeah, you might get those confused.
Westlake and Southlake are two different places.
Is it Southlake Carroll?
Yes.
But it's just Westlake.
Yes, it's Austin Westlake. It's Southlake Carroll and Austin Westlake. They're literally in two different cities.
I don't care.
3.5 hours apart.
I didn't tell you he was from your high school, whatever it's called.
Yeah, you did.
I said Westlake.
You said Westlake
and then I
Carroll.
added Carroll, so it's my fault. Listen, I drummed John Carroll in about everything I played in high school, so that's why I'm used to saying Carroll.
Oh my God! Like anybody cares about 3A
Beat him twice in one season.
Birmingham football.
We were 5A, and we beat ambidextrous quarterback Brooks Barron in the playoffs. So take that.
What's the highest classification?
When I was in school, it was 6A.
Did you play in the minors?
Now they had to have a special classification for the big schools.
So you played in the minors.
7. If that's what you want to reference,
That's what I will reference it as.
Yeah. Okay.
We played 5A too, but it's beside the point. Also, Westlake is a really good program, but I don't know if this guy was like their starting quarterback. I literally don't even know that.
Hold on.
I don't even know that.
You're questioning if he's even the starter?
3-year starter? I mean, I don't know. I didn't start till my senior year. It's not like completely out of the realm possibility. I feel like Westlake has a dude like every year.
6'2", 218. He's number 85 player in the state of Texas. Or is it Texas?
Tejas. Texas.
So
But
it is
it's
amazing.
strange for his offers to only be like incarnate word.
All they do is build quarterbacks, though.
If you're a 3-year starter at Westlake, I would just think you'd have better offers.
Well, he's 6'1".
Okay. And that matters.
For some
Kyler
quarterbacks.
Murray was 5'6".
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Riz Wise doesn't have the wheels or the wiggle of Kyler Murray. But that's just me.
Perhaps not.
It is odd that I've looked at 7 different articles about this kid, and not one of them has his statistics. Not a single one. What are we doing?
Well, what do you think that means?
I just feel like that might be a pretty decent piece of information that you would want when you're researching why a guy committed to your school or a school or any school. Like, here we go. Finally, Yahoo Sports. Thank you.
Oh, he was first team All-State.
As a junior, 2,598 yards, 23 touchdowns, 7 picks. He's also a threat on the ground, 15 touchdowns, 464 yards. Maybe he is the next Kyler Murray.
Might be. He's got first team All-State.
Take that quote, New York Post. Greg McElroy says Reese Wise is the next Kyler Murray.
It has to be. It'd be awesome. It'd be really fun if that were the case. I'm all about Texas quarterbacks taking over.
He led Westlake past Lake Travis to the 6A Division I state championship game, and they lost 50-21.
Who'd they play to?
North Crowley.
Crowley rips. Golly, how
do you pronounce Crowley?
Crowley.
I didn't realize that your consonants were pronounced differently.
You can say Crowley, folks. If you want to say Crowley, you can do that.
Maybe we should pronounce the W like a Y. Creeley.
I need a list of the cities in Alabama. I'm gonna find.
I need people to tweet into me. People named Riz.
I want to find one.
Anyone named Riz ever.
All I want to do is find one that somewhat resembles the name Homewood, and have Cole just confuse it. Because confusing Austin, Westlake, and South Lake Carroll is essentially the same as confusing.
You're right. There is a big difference. Yahoo Sports, according to this story, quote, Westlake is known for its quarterback development. With Cade Klubnik, Sam Ehlinger, and Drew Brees all being notable alumni.
What else? What other schools? How is that? Are you suggesting that there's no quarterbacks from South Lake?
All I said was that from Yahoo Sports, who obviously knows recruiting and Texas high school football much better than we do, and much better than anybody on this show, specifically Caleb Yum, who wrote the story for the Austin American Statesman, and I guess Yahoo just stole it and posted it on their website.
Yeah.
Seen that tactic before. That they are right now announcing that Westlake is the quarterback developer in the state of Texas.
They probably are.
Well, no, it says it right here. That's what they're known for.
That might very well be. I can't push back on that. Westlake might be a better quarterback development school than South Lake. And let me tell you how much sleep I'm going to lose over it.
They threw their guys out. Throw your guys out. You and
Chase Daniel, Quinn Ewers.
Right now, I'm leaning Westlake.
I mean, I think Drew Brees gives you an edge.
Just a slight one. And Klubnik still, we don't know what that's going to be.
You're also missing Nick Foles, which is amazing that they put Sam Ehlinger in there over Nick Foles. He went to Austin Westlake.
Yeah, but you're trying to
Super Bowl MVP.
Texas. This is a Texas article. Greg.
Yeah, Super Bowl MVP
It's a Texas article.
Sam Ehlinger.
You're also not helping your own argument by throwing Nick Foles out. You should have left him out.
I'm not even trying to argue it. I'm not even trying. All I care about is how many state championships. I care about team accomplishments. And in the time that I was there, Westlake stunk because we drubbed them. So I don't sit here and lose a lot of sleep over what the heck happens nowadays. I could care less about who wins the state championship in high school football in the state of Texas. I don't even live there anymore. I live in Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm not leaving. Just like I'm not going to lose a whole lot of sleep over
Austin Westlake 4 state championships.
Oh gosh, we had that in 4 years at South Lake. How many natties for Austin Westlake?
I don't think they.
It'd be 0.
I don't think they try to claim mythical championships.
No. USA Today claims them. So if USA Today claims them, I'm claiming them.
People read USA Today?
Used to. Till it became fake news.
They're referencing the Drew Brees state title year.
Oh God, desperate.
Well, it says that was the first. That was the first of 4. So I'm wondering, was it more after that? And I'm missing.
That was the first. It might not
just be 4.
If that was the first of 4, then I'm sure that they have more. I think my high school coach,
the Chaps,
went to Austin Westlake and I think won 3 or 4 by himself. So I don't know. Can't claim it, and frankly, don't care. Want to know why? High school football. I'm 36. I will care about high school football again in 12 years when my son is playing high school football.
What does Florida expect to see go into the portal, get from the portal, and how did their spring game look? We'll talk to Pat Dooley about it when we come back next on Mac and Cube in the morning. We have a correction to make on the show. 2023 at Louisiana Tech, Dakotas Crawford did catch 2 passes for 17 yards. Also in 23 at Louisiana Tech, he recorded 1 assist on a tackle.
That's good. Good teams player.
Or on an interception.
Doesn't matter.
More likely.
And both of his catches that year were in the same game against his former team.
So we have to correct ourselves in that he has more commercials than receptions because that would not be accurate anymore.
He is past.
But if he had one, it probably could work out where he would say that spring weather in Alabama can be really unpredictable. That's why you need the reliability of a train. Voted America's most trusted HVAC brand. You don't want your house to be the coldest. And right now you can receive up to a 10-year warranty on parts and labor on select Train home comfort systems to make your home the warmest. Find out more at train.com. It's hard to stop a train. Pat Dooley joins us now on the Higginbotham hotline. He covers the Florida Gators. Pat, spring game over the weekend, 50+ thousand, good attendance. Sounded like there's a lot for fans to be excited about. None of us saw it if we weren't there. What were the takeaways?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously they brought the basketball team in to get the crowd up. I mean, that was a pretty smart move on their part to have the celebration for the basketball team. Because otherwise, what were they selling? They were selling a football team without its quarterbacks, and that wasn't going to draw a great crowd. But they did get a good crowd because of that. And the takeaway for me was that they've got the pieces around DJ Lagway to be really successful this year. It's all going to come down to his health and whether he's able to, he's going to start throwing in June, and hopefully it works out, and they've done everything they can to get him ready. But I think there's a little bit of trepidation with Gator fans right now about his condition and whether he's going to be able to go in the fall.
It's kind of unfortunate. I mean, I feel like you make a big jump in that second spring, and not being able to have those reps is something that is disappointing for sure. But what have you heard about his prognosis and how close is he to getting back to 100%, if he can get back to 100% this offseason?
Yeah, well, I think that's the main reason they've shut him down as for the throwing, was to get him back to where he is as close to 100% as they can get. He's had a lower body injury as well. And I don't know if he had surgery on it or not, but there's talk that maybe he did. And then, so that'll hinder your throwing too, but they want him to start in June and be ready to go. Now, you never know with shoulders. You know how that is, Greg. I mean, with shoulders, sometimes they can get tender when you start throwing, and that's just going to mean they have to shut you down again. And I think that's a big concern. But everybody over there seems to be very optimistic about it. That this is the pattern. That this is the program they put him on to get him ready to be ready to go when they open up the season in late August.
What did you take from the spring game that might lead into the portal opening today? Maybe a guy or two that could be on their way out, or a position or two that maybe needs to be addressed further through the transfer portal into Gainesville?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Cole. I just don't. I don't know that they're going to hit the portal very hard right now. According to Billy Napier, and this is what he said after the spring game, they've got 98% of their team locked up for NIL deals. So they're not worried about anybody leaving, anybody else leaving. And, I don't know that they really have a lot of holes on this team right now, to be honest with you. I don't know they're going to hit. They'll probably look for some backups, in the portal. I mean, that was the thing to me that was so impressive. And again, you're watching a spring game. And anything you do good on offense means you didn't do good on defense. And anything you do good on defense means you didn't do good on offense. So you have to take it with a grain of salt. But it feels like they've got the best receiving and running back room they've had in a long, long time. And the offensive line should be pretty good too with 4 starters back. So I think offensively, if Lagway's ready to go, I think this could be a playoff type team. The question is going to be, are they able to sustain what they did last year on defense? They were a decent defense last year and hadn't been for a long time. Can they do that again this year? Can they take another step forward?
How would you assess the wide receiver position? You hear some buzz about the freshman that is just all world. I know he had like 200 yards receiving in the spring game or whatnot, and now all of a sudden the receiver position went from a position of concern to a position of strength. How would you assess the weapons that Lagway will have at his disposal?
Yeah, I mean, Dallas Wilson is really legit. I mean, after the game, Napier said that's what a 5-star looks like. And I mean, they haven't had a lot of 5-star receivers around here in a while. So I think it showed how good he is. Big, strong, physical guy, tall, can go up and get the ball. And they didn't even play Trey Wilson in this game, who's, still coming off that injury from last year. They wanted to hold him back. And so we saw what he did last year when he was healthy. He was unbelievable. He's unstoppable. So you take those two guys and you add in Aiden Mizell, who's had a great spring. And they're so loaded there, just in terms of the numbers that they can put out there. It's kind of reminds me of Florida's basketball team, where the depth is going to be really good. And that was a killer for opponents that played Florida, as they wore everybody down during the tournament. And I think that's what Florida's going to do here. They're just going to keep running guys at you. The running back room looks incredible, guys. I mean, it's Jacoby Jackson is legit, and he was good last year. And then you add in Jaden Ball, and you add in Trayon Webb back, and also I love this kid Dallas Clark as a guy who catches the ball out of the backfield really well, and they like him as a freshman, so he's an early enrollee. So they're in good shape in all those positions, and they've got everybody locked up. So it's just a matter of keeping the quarterback healthy and finding a way for him to be able to do the things that he does so well when he is healthy.
Absolutely. We're talking with Pat Dooley, covers the Florida Gators, has for quite some time, does it well. I think the running back room obviously is going to be strong. I saw a couple highlights from different guys in the spring game. We know we talked to Lagway already. We talked to some pass catchers. A lot of folks think the offensive line is just going to be a lot better. Is there a concern for you offensively right now that you look at and say, yeah, that's not what it needs to be. It's not going to be enough?
No, I think they feel pretty good about it. I mean, they got 4 starters back, and obviously one of them was an All-American last year, and Jake Slaughter, the center. That's always good when you have a center All-American that you can count on. Austin Barber has been really good for a couple of years now, and he's back, and Damian George. So, I mean, they're in good shape there. They've built the depth up pretty well. I think that they feel good about that. That's an area where they may go get one more guy in the portal if they feel like they need to. They may also defensively go get a couple guys, but the offensive line they think is going to be a strength. I will say this: I've seen offensive lines that people said were going to be strengths, and then I watched them and they weren't strengths. So, but in the spring game, they looked really good. I mean, they were just opening up holes all over the place. So now, again, you have to take all spring games with a grain of salt.
Fine.
A lot of salt.
Yeah, right. Finally, with just the advancements made on defense and some of the progress that was made last year, especially along the defensive line late in the year, what's the ceiling for that group, you think? I know we talked about it a little bit earlier, but do you think that's a group that can become one of the top groups in the SEC based on some jumps they might have from some young players?
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting part about it. I mean, Miles Graham is going to be a guy they're counting on. Of course, Ernest Graham's son, who was a big-time recruit as well, and he was great in this game. I think he led the team in tackles with 8. He's a tackling machine, an incredible athlete, and that's where they've got to get back. I mean, linebacker is a position of slight concern just because obviously Shamar James gone, and he was a big part of last year's team. And to me, it's going to come down to the same thing it always comes down to. Can you generate a pass rush? They did it last year, especially late in the year. They were really good at rushing the passer, forcing interceptions, which a year ago they had 3 interceptions the entire year. And this year, I think they had 13. So they got better at that part of it. And this is part of everything that Billy Napier is trying to do, was to build this team up slowly instead of looking for quick Band-Aid cures. And I think, maybe Gator fans are finally ready to, their expectations are high. I mean, they expect things to go good. And I asked this question on my radio show, guys. Do you feel any different about football going into the start of the season than you did basketball? Because nobody thought basketball was going to win the national title. You were hoping they'd get into the tournament. That was your goal, and that's kind of the goal right now with football. I don't think anybody felt any better about basketball than they do about football right now, to be honest with you.
That's totally fair. And you look across the landscape, we've talked about it, Pat. There are not a ton of teams that you just have the utmost confidence in that are going to be dominant in football this year.
There's not. I mean, the quarterback situations around this conference are kind of squirrely right now, obviously, with what the Nico thing changes some things up, and who knows where they're going to go to get somebody. But, I mean, you look around the conference, and it's not like you're scared of anybody, to be honest with you. So, hey, we'll see what happens. We got a long way to go, as you know, and I'm excited about this football season coming up for a lot of reasons. I think it's just going to be a lot of fun watching football once we get past the portal and the NIL and just start playing football again.
No doubt. Pat Dooley, we appreciate the time. Always great having you on, and we'll do it again soon.
Yeah, anytime you guys need me, I'm happy to do it.
Yes, sir. Pat Dooley, our guest there, not just guest, but our guest, Pat Dooley, covers the Florida Gators. As Chris Woodward tweets in, guest tells at Mac and Cube that Florida could be a, quote, playoff-type team. Pat Dooley. Did I not do a proper introduction there, John? Did I miss something? Did I fall short of that?
You did one introduction. You did several resets, too.
Well, I usually get in trouble for the resets. Hey, guy, we know who it is.
Does he have a problem with what was said?
No, he referenced him as guest. I feel like Pat deserves just an ounce more respect than that.
Why did you refer to that guy as listener or tweeter? Why'd you put some respect on his name? You should have. You just said,
Chris Woodward.
Listener says.
Yeah, reporter Chris W. on Twitter.
Yeah.
Reports that guest tells Mac and Cube Florida could be a playoff-type team. Could they?
Don't know.
We'll see. First, tell our listeners about Bromberg's.
Bromberg's has been a great place for me and our family for a long time. We've been shopping there for a while, and we will continue to shop there for the foreseeable future. I can promise you that. Why? Because the experience is better. I mean, buying jewelry to me is difficult. It has been for me. It's been a challenge. I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know what my wife would like. I don't know what makes a quality diamond. I mean, I can do some research on it, but I'm so much better off going in and just allowing the people at Bromberg's to help me get through the process and find that perfect piece. I know they'll do the exact same for you. This is just a great experience and a great group of people that I've been working with for a very long time. We've bought things that'll be in our family for multiple generations. Always great to know when you're investing in items like this that they're going to stand the test of time. So go and see them for yourself. Go get a natural diamond. Go get that one-of-a-kind piece of jewelry, yellow gold, white gold, platinum, you name it, they have it in there at Bromberg's. So go and see them in Mountain Brook Village or at the Summit.
There is a big name officially now in the portal, and something that comes with it. We'll tell you who it is and what else is attached to it next on Mac and Cube in the morning. Wednesday, April 16th, 7:45. We are live on YouTube. Search Jocks 94.5. You can always watch there. The app is in your app store, iPhone, Android. Download that for free. You can tune in there as well. And always listen online at jocksfm.com.
Bill Smith Buick GMC is the GMC Dealer of the Year, the national champions of GMC dealers. They've won 5 years in a row. You know how difficult it is to win a national championship 5 years in a row? I mean, that is something that very few have ever even considered or ever even thought about outside of like UCLA basketball in the 70s. I'm not sure anybody's done it. That's because it's impossible for most places to achieve greatness 5 consecutive years. Bill Smith has done that, and they continue to do it with some of the deals that they have on the lot, like a brand new GMC Sierra 1500 4x4. This is a loaded vehicle with leather. $65,795 is the list price. You can get it for $53,335. It's an amazing deal. Just an absolutely amazing deal. It's a 1500 GMC Sierra for $53,335. It's deals like that that keep people coming back. That's why when you take the short drive up to Coleman, you'll see those deals on the lot. You'll understand why. You'll likely, if you purchase from them that time, you'll probably purchase from them again and again and again. 75% of their business is repeat customers. I'm a repeat customer. That's because I know I've had a better experience when I shop at Bill Smith's. Take the short drive to Coleman. You'll be glad you did. You can also shop online. Have delivered right to your driveway at BillSmithBuickGMC.com.
So Nico Iamaleava is officially in the transfer portal with a do not contact tag by his name. Is that surprising to you, Greg?
I don't really understand the do not contact tag. What does that even mean? Like you can't reach out to him?
You're not supposed to. I don't know if I don't know what happens to you from an NCAA standpoint if it's found out that you did. But there's a great story from Max Olson up at ESPN.com, and he references Iamaleava's future is in the hands of his father, Nick, and trusted family friend named Cordell Landers, a former Florida personnel staffer. Both are representing the quarterback in discussions with schools. Cool.
Sounds like a real winning team. Let's look up Cordell Landers. What does he do?
Max also references in his story that based on sources that he has spoken to and schools that he has spoken to, that it is highly unlikely to have far better options next season. That does not come as a massive surprise to anyone, but just another person who covers the sport that has talked to other people about it, just kind of backing up that there are not going to be multiple suitors, and there might not be any suitors that are putting up big money for him, which is essentially why they left.
Yep.
And there's a part of this, Greg, that you look at and say, potentially this was needed. This was necessary in college football for people to maybe have to take a step back and say, can we keep pushing here? Is it going to be enough? And you guys have heard me say it for a while. With a lot of it with the players and what they want, what they feel like they, quote, need, it's never going to be enough. It just isn't. It's not going to be enough. You can say, great, good. Okay, well, go ahead and look for the next thing because that's what we're going to be challenging next. And we're going to be going after that. And we're going to be taking you to court for that.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be enough.
It's never enough.
So until there are boundaries, guidelines, contractual obligations that can be, I guess, what's the word I'm even looking for here? Upheld?
Yeah.
Can be enforced, then it doesn't matter. These type of things are going to continue to happen. And the people behind the scenes, like some of these, are going to continue to try and push people as far as they can down the road. And thankfully, Tennessee got tired of being pushed.
I love it.
And they're like, no more. I'm not doing it, man.
Well, Tennessee also made their bed here. Remember? I mean, I think it's important to note that while Tennessee deserves to be celebrated for this instance, they deserve to be chastised for what went down in the last several years with lawsuits and things like this. Like, they started this. You know what I mean?
He was a big part of the lawsuits. I mean, they were going to bat for him.
Correct. I mean, he was part of it. So, I mean, they kind of made their bed and they finally said, all right, we've done so much for you and we're done at this point, which I'm great with. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a little too late, but we probably wouldn't be where we're at in the sport had this been handled a couple years ago in a different manner. You know what I mean? So what goes around comes around, and that Tennessee in many ways started it. They also in many ways have now slowed it down, which is beneficial. It's a good thing.
There's another aspect of this story that we haven't referenced yet when discussing Nico Iamaleava and his future. We will give you that other part of it when we come back on Mac and Cube in the morning. Transfer portal open. It is happening now all over the place. Illinois running back Josh McCray, the Citrus Bowl MVP, is heading to the NCAA transfer portal, Greg. Now, Illinois, a team that we think we're going to have a pretty good year this year. Has a chance
really
to have a pretty good year. So interesting to see what players not only
they
leave
didn't
their
run it
roster.
very much last year. You know, that's the one thing. It's like
he had 117 for 609 and 10 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
So he had some decent numbers.
Not bad. Pretty good player. Like they had a couple bruisers. Like they had Caden Fagan was the other guy. They had a couple big guys. Maybe they just want to go into a different direction. Like Fagan, 6'3", 250.
That's fun. He had 67, for 308, 3 rushing touchdowns.
Josh McCray, 6'1", 240. This guy's a hammer. So,
6'1", 240. I'll take him.
Dude, they got some big backs.
Sign me up.
And Fagan, 6'3", 250. McCray, 6'1", 240. They got another kid named Jordan Anderson, 6'4", 240.
Aiden Lafferty had to be like the speed guy.
Yeah.
The change-up guy at 200.
two at a normal sized back size.
Is it there? Maybe Khalil Valentine was a freshman last year, 5'11", 190. Maybe he's getting some more run. Not sure, but a productive player that's now out. Also, ECU quarterback Jake Garcia is in the transfer portal.
What school number is this?
we got to be getting up there.
Missouri to I don't even know where to I don't even know where to I don't know where. And then
Jake Garcia was 109 of 181 for 1426 last year. 8 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Boy.
Got to bring him in.
Miami in 2021 and 2022. 23, like you said, Missouri didn't play. And then ECU this past year, now going to be somewhere else. Just keep on moving down the road. Pete Nako is going to talk portal with us on the other side. Here's the other interesting aspect to the Nico Iamaleava situation. Now, keep in mind, App State's Joey Aguilar is transferring into UCLA. The Bruins previously held a commitment from Nico's younger brother, Madden. Then he flipped to Arkansas in December. So is that going to be a hurdle from the UCLA standpoint? So Madden Iamaleava was considered to be, according to Max Olson, the local gem of UCLA coach Deshaun Foster's first recruiting class.
Yeah.
But he got his teammate Jace Brown instead. And so then Madden decided to leave for Arkansas. There's a lot to it, this entire situation.
You think?
All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning, Wednesday, April 16th, 8 a.m. right here on Jocks 94.5. Oklahoma gets Cal running back Jaden Ott. So far as when we look at guys that have already landed, I think that would be the biggest get of this latest window. Ole Miss gets Fair State quarterback Trinidad Chambly or Chambliss, one or the other. Jake Garcia from ECU, quarterback in. Josh McCreary, Illinois, running back in. Louisiana Tech wide receiver Dakotas Crawford is in. And then former Alabama basketball player, former South Carolina basketball player, Nick Pringle, Greg, is now going to be a former Arkansas basketball player as well.
So he's on the move again.
On the move again.
Is the goal to play at the most schools? Possibly.
For some guys, maybe. Ole Miss also getting Kansas guard A.J. Storr, and Vanderbilt getting NC State guard Mike Jams from, if you're talking basketball portal, and different guys that are on the move there. If you're on the move looking for a new house, Gusty Goulas and the Gusty Goulas group can help. Any of those guys transferring in here to Sanford or UAB, Gusty Goulas and the Gusty Goulas group can help. They've served over 3,000 home buyers and sellers in the greater Birmingham area. Gusty constantly investing in cutting-edge technology and marketing to sell the best homes for the most money. He can give you options for your home before you even talk to him. Just go to gustygoulas.com today. Click the button at the top of the page, valuable information, find out exactly what your home is worth. 205-542-1996. Gusty Goulas has helped my family. He can help your family, and they're going to do great jobs. They're going to exceed your expectations. Over 850 five-star Google reviews. Just search Gusty Goulas Group. You'll find out for yourself. GustyGoulasGroup.com or 205-542-1996 and start packing today. Pete Nakos joining us now on the Higginbotham Hotline. Pete, have you survived the roller coaster of social media tidal waves and influx of good and bad information coming your way over the last, I guess, week?
I'd like to say yes, but in reality, guys, the portal opened this morning, so the misinformation is only going to ramp up for the next couple days.
Only going to be more insane, and we haven't seen a ton of bigger names in the portal today. I want to just start specifically with Auburn and Alabama. All I've yet to see really is Brandon Joyner, offensive lineman. Now, J.C. Hart, C.J. Johnson in the Auburn secondary have announced earlier that they are going to hit the portal. Auburn and Alabama, what are your expectations for departures from these two schools over the next few days?
I'm expecting minimal departures at both schools. I think both are going to try to, add a couple guys. I don't think it's going to be like a massive, they're not going to add 20 guys right now. That's not what is about to happen. But, I think they're both going to, kind of evaluate where the portal is and go from there. And I know Alabama's looking at a tight end and Auburn's looking at a couple defensive tackles right now.
When you look at a place like tight end, like for Alabama, I mean, what are the odds of a decent difference making tight end getting in the portal? I mean, I feel like those guys have all kind of settled. The big guy went to the biggest one and the best one, ended up at Ohio State. I think it was Claire or Clary or whatever it is. But other than that, I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot of movement at that position. Is that a position you can expect to actually be available this time around?
Yeah, there's a couple guys who are going to jump in. The Cal tight end, Jack Andrews, is going in the portal. He was supposed to be one of the more productive tight ends coming back to college football, so he'll be a top name.
What does that defensive tackle market even look like right now? Because that's a position, Pete, that it doesn't feel like there's as many dominant individual players at that there has been in years past of college football. And you say Auburn's going to try to go after that spot. They've done it the last couple of years. How many are out there that can realistically come in or will be available that can come in to make a difference?
It's going to be tough, and there's a lot of schools who want a defensive tackle right now. I can say Auburn, I can say Ohio State. I know Georgia is looking for an edge rusher. I mean, and if you're looking for a legit impactful player, you're talking about like $1 million guy at least.
I mean, edge rusher and defensive tackle, is that outside of quarterback? Are those the two most valuable positions in the portal?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I typically say quarterback, but a lot of the schools aren't looking for a quarterback like right now. Stuff like that. So, yeah, it's a crazy time right now in college sports, that's for sure.
No doubt. Pete Nakos of the On3 Sports Network joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Congrats on your new deal. Also, by the way, that was shared via social media. Happy for you. Also, the Nico Iamaleava saga, which you were first to report, now he has departed Tennessee. It doesn't feel like there are real suitors. There have been a couple that have been mentioned, but they seem to have gone away fairly quickly. And when you really dig into the UCLA situation, there are aspects of that make it look like it could even be cloudy. What do you project is next for him?
Yeah, guys, I think UCLA is a really viable option right now. I'm writing this morning, and it rings true. His brother was almost a Bruin, though, and he flipped to Arkansas at the last minute. So I think when we go through this entire process, we also have to remember that the family has a relationship with UCLA, but UCLA has also been left at the altar once before.
Pete, let me ask you this. And honestly, we don't know. What is Deshaun Foster's situation? Like, what is UCLA's overall situation right now? We don't know what the expectation for the fan base is. We don't know what their NIL situation looks like. We don't know what the roster situation looks like as far as being able to sustain, maintain guys, lose guys. How would you sort of 5,000-foot view evaluate what UCLA's program situation is right now?
I don't think they started the season very well, obviously. Last year, that's not really a surprise. And obviously, I think people kind of ran around with what happened at media days, and that kind of obviously kind of overshadowed him a little bit in the summer. But, I think if they're going to turn this thing around and if Deshaun Foster is going to, win at UCLA, I think adding someone like Nico would obviously put some people in the seats and stuff like that. So I think bringing him in would make a lot of sense.
Do they have money though? Like, do they have backers? Do they have people stepping up to try to help? Like, are they a viable player when it comes to spending?
They're not going to be able to, from everything I know right now, I don't think they'll be able to spend $4 million, but I don't know that to be 100% true because for all I know, some donors getting money together right now to make it happen.
So is there an under the radar brand or team that is actually going to be in the mix potentially? I mean, because it seems to me like UCLA might be bidding against themselves.
I think that they're definitely in the mix to get Nico. And I think that trying to bring him back home to LA, I think that kind of changes the, tenor of like what the NIL collective's doing. Like if they feel like they need to raise X amount of dollars, I'm sure it kind of changes things when you're trying to go get a quarterback that, could change a lot of things on the football field.
Yeah, it gives him some different advantages. Pete Nakos of the On3 Sports Network covers the transfer portal and college football with us now on the Higginbotham Hotline. Give us a school to watch that you feel like could be maybe making noise from an acquisition standpoint or possibly more on the negative side of thing, a departure standpoint, where a couple of guys maybe get away from the current roster that would surprise people.
I am very fascinated to what Georgia and Michigan do in the transfer portal. I think they both have some needs that they feel like they really need to address, and does it get done at the level they want it to? That's what I'm keeping an eye on.
What about teams that could hypothetically be going all in? I mean, you look at the commitment that Penn State has made, the commitment that Auburn has made financially to their current rosters. I mean, Auburn has a top 5 roster as far as pay is pretty amazing, and several other schools that have kind of theoretically gone all in this year. Are there a couple of guys or a couple of teams that you think might be willing to go above and beyond to strengthen their roster just even a little bit more to make them extra competitive?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of schools that fit in that category. Just off the top of my head, like Ohio State has a major need at a defense tackle. I think we've seen time and time again that they're willing to spend the dollar. So I expect that to, that's one school to watch. And then, I think a school at Auburn, like they bring in Jackson Arnold. They have a couple more things they want to fill in. And I don't think NIL has ever really been like a do we have enough money thing at Auburn. So I'll be interested to see what kind of guys Auburn tries to bring in the next, 2 weeks.
It feels like Oklahoma is sort of I'm not even going to say spring portal window winner, maybe just the overall portal winner this offseason. Yeah. How much more do they have left? Is there more heavy lifting still to be done, in your opinion?
I think they want to bring in a tight end, which, we just talked about isn't going to be the easiest feat. And then I think they'd like to add a little bit more to their offensive line if they could. But bringing in John McTeer and Jaden Ott, I think, basically checks off the two biggest things on the to-do list in this offseason.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. Pete, great stuff. Thanks for joining us. Always great catching up with you. I know today's a busy day, so we appreciate the time. We'll talk with you again soon.
You bet. See you guys.
There you go. Pete Nakos with the On3 Sports Network, covers the transfer portal. Find him on Twitter at Pete Nakos. Does a great job breaking news with who's going to be in, who's going to be out, who is negotiating or trying to renegotiate their deals. We appreciate Pete Nakos at Pete Nakos _ on Twitter. Find his work at the On3 Sports Network. Another one, quarterback that is, has entered the transfer portal, and it will probably irk one Greg McElroy because of how many other places he's been. First, I will tell you about Andrews Sports Medicine. If you have an injury that is irking you or bothering you, there's a reason Auburn Athletics hand-selected Andrews Sports Medicine's Dr. Benton Emblem and Dr. Charles Pitts to serve as their team physicians. They provide the highest quality of sports medicine care in an effort to keep the Tiger student-athletes safe, healthy, and competing at the highest level. If Andrews Sports Medicine is the choice for Auburn Athletics, there's no doubt they should be your family's number one choice for sports medicine and orthopedic care. Andrews Sports Medicine, 7 locations across Central Alabama, Birmingham, Coleman, Gardendale, Hoover, Pelham, Trussville. They offer same-day, next-day appointments for acute sports injuries. Visit andrewsportsmedicine.com today to begin your journey of achieving victory over injury. We'll tell you who that quarterback is next on Mac and Cube in the morning. Welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. What do you want your team to get out of the portal? 800-239-9569. Your thoughts on the Nico Iamaleava situation, where we could go next. A lot of things happening right now in college football, and there's another name that is in the portal, another quarterback that is in the portal. Mike Wright, great teammate.
Oh, my gosh.
Is in the transfer portal.
Is
great
he going
teammate.
back to Mississippi State?
I will.
Or Vandy?
I'll go out on a limb right now and tell you that there is a 100% chance he's not going to Mississippi State.
What about Vandy?
I don't think they need him. If he wants to play some hybrid HY tight end type position,
Yeah.
maybe. Probably put him there, but they got a pretty good one in front of him. He's not going to get first team reps.
So what? Who wants to be a starter nowadays?
Did play a little bit of quarterback last year at Northwestern, though, Greg. He was
the day one starter.
If he was, it didn't last long. He appeared in 3 games.
Good teammate.
Great teammate. 38 of 66, 354 yards, no touchdown, 1 interception. He also rushed 18 times for 84 yards and 1 score. So, yeah. Mike
Where do you
Wright
think he ends up?
in?
Be a good get for like Samford.
No. I think Hatch needs accuracy to run that offense. According to Pete Thamel, Wright said his main focus is finding a place to compete for the starting quarterback job. He said he's open to a potential position change, but that situation would have to be perfect.
Huh.
So which is it? His main focus is finding a place to compete for the starting quarterback job. That's the main focus. So that's right here. That's numeral uno. That's top of the charts.
I'm going to take the over on that being the number one thing of importance.
However, open to a position change over here, but it has to be perfect. I don't feel like you can have both of those.
But was he not competing for the starting job at Northwestern?
I think at one point in time he actually had it, but then he competed, won. But then the problem is you have to continue to compete, and he didn't continue to win.
That is accurate. You have to compete. The competition never ends.
It almost comes across as like, I'll be open to a position change, but the competition stops there. Like, you're going to have to tell me that I'm the starter and I'm going to get all the first team reps.
Yes. That makes sense. That's how I'd approach. If I were building a team or a culture, that's how I'd approach it. I'd give away starting jobs and then say that is your job forever.
You want a bunch of gimmies.
Yes. No, you never have to continue to do quality things in practice or in the weight room or away from the field. You never have to do anything else. Once you lock down that starting job, it is permanent.
Let me ask you this question as a former quarterback. I guess you're not a former, you'll always be a quarterback. Why specifically I feel like a pretty big number of guys who have had success changing positions. Dawson Knox, Terrell Pryor, Travis Kelce, Caden Priestcorn. There are Antoine Randall L. I mean, there are guys that is that not one, John? I mean, he started out as a quarterback.
I mean, it happens.
Super Bowl MVP?
Cordell Stewart. I mean,
it definitely happens.
There have been guys, and there are a lot of ones that you could point to and say, look, he did it. Why is it so, why do they grasp so hard at that position? Like, why is it so hard to let go of playing quarterback? Like, why is it so hard to see the end of the road at quarterback? Whereas it feels like in other sports, like when a guy needs to move to safety, he moves to safety. Like, you can't play corner anymore.
Like Jalen Mbakwe moves to receiver.
When a guy needs to go from defense to offense, like you kind of figure that out pretty quick. Like you're not playing D-line, buddy. You're not quick enough. You're not fast enough. Like, you need to be on the offensive line.
Or vice versa. I mean, whatever.
Okay, either way.
Yeah.
But I just, like when the starting pitcher needs to go to the bullpen, I feel like that's not debated for years. It just kind of happens immediately. Like you can't do it anymore.
Because I think guys aren't realistic. At quarterback, you have to kind of have a little bit of an attitude like, I can do it. You have to be, I don't care. I can do it. You have to have that type of mentality. Like, if you don't have that mentality, you're probably not going to be any good. And when you're not any good and you have that mentality, then you're really in trouble. Interpret that as you will.
Is that the hardest position to let go of, do you think?
Probably, because you're involved every snap. I mean, yeah, it's the most fun position, I would imagine. It's the hardest position. Yeah, I think that'd be a hard one to get to move away from, for sure. I mean, you were the center of attention to, becoming a rotational slot receiver. Like, what's worse than that?
What's the next position in sports where guys transition out of to something else that's the hardest to let go of? Starting pitcher?
Yeah, probably. Or, a real position player to like a first baseman. Like,
You're saying first base is not a real position?
No. Did you see Moneyball?
I'd like to go to the park right now and throw you 10 balls in the dirt and see you scoop them.
Okay. You probably, first of all, you probably wouldn't even be trying to throw them in the dirt. You just would.
Even better.
I feel pretty good about being able to play first base at a.
I feel like if
I'm not saying
if we went to the field right now and John hit me 20 balls at short and I threw you 20 in the dirt, you're not scooping 5 of them.
Oh, I got at least 5.
No.
Yeah, that's
no shot. Are we going turf or grass?
I don't play on grass. Who plays on grass?
Yeah, you want the easy hops. You want the clean hops in the turf.
No, I want dirt.
You want the sideways hops off rocks and grass and dirt.
Exactly. Those are tricky, but that's part of it. I don't know what it is about quarterback. And I think guys, and they have unrealistic parents, like the people in their team. Here's the thing. Quarterback is an expensive position to learn. You don't just show up and play quarterback. Like, there are mechanics that you have to learn, and it's not like can you do it without lessons? Of course. Like, this whole era of, I got to have private lessons, to me is absurd. I've never understood it. Like, if you go out and throw the ball in the net over and over and over and over and over again, like, you can figure it out. Like, okay, would it be nice to have an extra set of eyes telling you what to do? Of course. Like, having a coach, yeah, it's beneficial, but it's not a must. But, people have now convinced parents that they need to spend money on private lessons for their 7-year-olds, and that's the way things go. But I look at how much time and how much money and how much energy goes into learning that position. I think it's a hard thing to get away from. But what people don't realize, I think playing quarterback teaches you about so much more than just you see the bigger picture. Like, you're able to see all 22. Like, it just teaches you, just from a visual standpoint, how to see every position and how to see the big picture unfold, as opposed to focusing in on that one position. If you look at a wide receiver and watch that guy, the guy needs to run one route. It's the easiest position there is. I mean, one route is all I got to do. I got to get open. Fine. I beat this guy. No problem. It's the easiest position there is. So I think that I understand why guys would maybe have a bit of a resistance, not, being the guy in the center of the tension and in the center of the action all the time.
Yeah, but you look at, there's just so many guys that feel like they're hanging on, going to another place, and a position change feels like it could work if they wanted it to. Now you gotta want to get out. I mean, if you're Mike Wright, you're probably gonna have to block a little bit. That's not cool. That's not fun. Nobody wants to do that. If you're Robbie Ashford playing slot or try to bulk up and play a little bit of a hybrid tight end position, yeah, you're probably gonna have to get in people's way. It's not not enjoyable.
Here's the other funny thing is, like, I think there's this big conception and misconception. Everyone always just suggests a position change. Sometimes the guy's not as athletic or as gifted as you think.
That's fair.
Like, I've played with people like that. They're like, I don't understand why he doesn't just change positions. Well, because he runs like 4.8. Like, he's actually not that big and strong. He can't just learn how to block the point. Like, it doesn't. There's a little bit of a facade. Quarterback athleticism is very different than wide receiver athleticism, or tight end athleticism or outside linebacker athleticism. It's very different. So I don't know. I think there is a little bit of it's so easy to change positions. I don't know why he doesn't just go and play tight end or H-back. Well, because he can't catch. Like, it's
a great point, but
he can't run routes.
But Mike Wright has tried it. I mean, he did. He did it at Mississippi State a little bit.
Was he good at it?
I don't think he was. I think there were indicators that he had a chance to be pretty good at it. I mean, he wasn't immediately good. But I mean, by the way, are there quarterbacks out there that can't catch? Like, how do you throw? What do you do? Like, do you have a receiver walking around with you wherever you go, that, like you do in warmups, that catches for you?
I think more.
I know y'all are afraid of jamming your fingers, so you don't you have people catch the ball for you most of the time anyway.
I think most quarterbacks have pretty good hands.
I would imagine.
But I don't even think it's necessarily about that. But they can't run routes. Doesn't know how to separate. Not sudden. Can't bend. Like, okay, can run you over with the ball in his hand, like quarterback power. But like, he's not really bendy. He's not really loose. You know, he's tight. He doesn't have good hips. He doesn't have fast feet. I mean, there's different skill sets. Like, I think people just think, oh, he's big, he's strong, he can play tight end. Oh, he's tall, he's fast, he can play receiver. It doesn't work that way. Like, it doesn't work. Like, there are other skills that you need to learn to be able to make that transition. And yeah, are there freak shows like Antoine Randall that can figure it out? Of course. Yeah, but I mean, those guys are rare, man.
Once in a generation,
super rare.
Guy. AC's dad tweets in, former collegiate first baseman here would pay real American dollars to watch Greg attempt to scoop short hops. I'm with you. I'd be there. 5 out of 20 is my number. I don't think he could get it.
I feel good about it. Depends on how garbage your throws are.
They're going to be as bad as possible. Trust me. I'm gonna try to hop that thing about a good 3 feet in front of you, so it's just out of reach of your stretch.
That's too far. I could play it back a little bit and catch it.
Okay.
I feel good about being able to pick up short hops. Believe me, dude, I play catch with a 6-year-old every day.
That does help.
Like, my short
wide
hops,
hops, short hops, long
wide
hops.
hops, short hops, long stretches, high throws.
Not paying attention in your face.
100%.
I get a few of those from the 4-year-old.
Yeah, like,
gets 2 feet away from me and thinks he needs to throw it as hard as he can.
Mine could throw it hard. That's the problem. It's like, it's not super accurate.
I don't need you to be right in front of me to throw it as hard as you can, though. Like, back up.
Well, I keep telling him, like, do you need to throw it? Like, stop lobbing it. Like, throw it hard. Like, practice throwing hard. Like, that's going to teach your body how to move. Like, practice throwing hard. Practice swinging hard. Like, do it. Throw it hard. Your body will figure it out. And golly, is he taking that thing and run with it? Like, all right, maybe not from 4 feet away, and maybe not on the third throw of the day. Like,
maybe we'll get out there. Maybe we'll see. My challenge stands.
Feel good about it.
We still have Wimp's free throw challenge. He doesn't think we can make any, I don't believe.
I have a 12-inch glove, though. I need to maybe get a bigger glove. If we're trying to go 5 for 20, I'm going to need to probably get a bigger glove.
Go get whatever glove you need.
I have a middle infielder glove because I'm just quick hands, third base guy.
A damn hockey goalie mitt, if that's what you need. I don't care. I don't think you can do it.
Hockey goalie mitt.
5 of 20. And I'm going to mess up and throw a few in the air, and they'll get there, and that's gonna ruin it.
That's hilarious. You're going to try to one-hop it. You're going to throw it perfect.
It'll happen.
All right, fine. I'll throw those, and then I get to burn you out from shortstop, throwing it as hard as humanly possible. See how many you catch. In the chin, that is.
I didn't say first base was a fake position.
It's a fake position compared to shortstop as far as what you're asked to do in the field. When you get sent to first base as a position player in baseball, you're basically getting sent to the.
Hold on a second. This isn't
or DH, either one of the two.
Okay, well, DH is a totally different
Same
conversation.
Thing, but people sometimes go to first base before they go to DH.
But I feel like you're still living in like 1998 right here. The first base is not throw the old guy over there anymore.
It's not?
No.
You might want to double check. There have been a few examples of which they're like, we'll put our really good hitting center fielder at first base because he can't run anymore. It's like getting sent to the retirement community. You can still do cool things. Like shuffleboard every day is really fun. I love playing mahjong. I can go and play 9 holes of golf every day and carry a bag.
Keep that clip right there for him, please. I love playing mahjong.
It is. It's fun. I mean, these are fun things. Like, but I acknowledge that it skews a little older. And when I get to the retirement community someday, I'm going to be
dead serious with you right now. And this is going to sound bad. I don't mean this to sound bad. I just mean it's because of listening to my wife discuss mahjong.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't think men played mahjong.
First time I played mahjong was on spring break.
Because every time I hear her talking about it, or every picture she shows me of other people playing it, or every get together, there's not a single male that plays.
No. I played with my wife and the other couple that we were on spring break with.
Did you win?
Won twice.
What's the goal to win?
It's extremely complicated. But there are rows. It's
we
no
get
different.
It. You understand it because it's hard.
It's no different than
it.
poker. Yeah. It's no different than poker, and you need to have 14 tiles instead of 5 cards. It's not easy, but it's fun. It is. It's competitive, and it gets your brain thinking. And it was a fun thing to do. Now, when you look at these mahjong clubs, You know, they're basically just it's basically no different than a guy going to the sports bar and drinking 7 beers. Like that's what the mahjong clubs are for the moms. Like it's
The
us
guy doesn't accomplish anything though. At least they think they accomplish like a win in a game.
No, it's fine, but it's mostly social gossip. And the funny thing is how like
What gets less done? Book club or mahjong club?
Book club for sure. Book club is absolutely useless. Mahjong club is the new version of book club. It is. The mahjong, at least you have it requires some thought. I mean, book club is
Some competition.
Yeah, some
like
competition.
in mahjong, like you're at least going at it.
It's a little bit like it'd be no different than us going and having like a poker game. The problem with mahjong and poker, or the problem with mahjong as opposed to poker, is like if we're playing Texas Hold'em, we can run through. If you have a terrible hand, you have a terrible hand, and guess what? I fold.
Yeah, you're out.
I'm out in 2 seconds. In mahjong, you have to play, and it's like I know I can't win. This hand is trash, but this is going to take 40 minutes, and I got to sit here and just play the game. And my goal at that point, when I know I have a trash hand, is to try to ruin the game for everybody else so that nobody mahjons. But it's not fun.
Okay.
That's the only difference. But it's
I will say that I think your view of the move the old beat up guy to first base, especially now the DH in both leagues, I think that's a foreign deal. I think you need dudes at first base now.
It happens.
Oh, it definitely happens, but if you went to like 1998 or 2004, I think a third of your first basemen in Major League Baseball were that guy.
Collecting Social Security.
Just get him over there.
Yeah.
But it's like people would probably say, like, look at Freddie Freeman. He's been a great first baseman his whole career.
Yeah, he's got a great glove.
So I think that people it's not like, hey, how many games can we sacrifice Frank Thomas at first base, even though we use him at DH all these other games? I don't think that's it anymore. I think you got to have a guy that can play the position. It's not a throwaway spot. So
yeah, I'm not saying it's a throwaway spot. I'm saying that there are examples of old guys that get moved to first base from center field, and that would be a shot to the ego. No one's saying first base isn't a real position for some. All I'm suggesting is it's a shot to the ego for some because playing center field requires more athleticism than playing first base. Playing shortstop requires a little bit more than what you have to do at first base. Like try being Derek Jeter and playing shortstop for 15 years. All of a sudden you lose a step. You're like, hey, yeah, you know what? You know what we're going to do, Derek? We're going to move you to first base. We're going to move you to shortstop. We're going to move you from shortstop to first base. Or you know what? Even worse, we'll move you to second base. Ugh. It's the worst. You know that would be a shot to the ego. You can try to deny it all you want.
It would. It doesn't mean first basemen aren't athletic or skilled.
Oh, God.
I don't know why I'm taking up for first baseman today.
What's wrong with you? You know what? Because you are a first baseman. You are a
I didn't play first.
Yeah, but
Kevin
you are.
Stanika was our first baseman in high school. And he was really good at scooping the ball, and he was not athletic at all.
You're the perfect
even
candidate,
though he went to play football at Lindenwood.
You're the perfect candidate, though, at your age.
I was DH in outfield.
Right now, end of your career.
DH in outfield.
No, you're not DH anymore. Outfield.
Cannon.
Outfield?
Tag up on me from third when I was playing right field.
God, you better pray to God that you don't have to move off the spot. You better hope that your shift was perfect and he hit it straight to you.
You down.
I'm not saying you can't catch it and throw it. No one said that.
What are you going to say next? That catcher is where they put old guys that can't play?
Yeah, the opposite. That's the only position in baseball that I have like an immense amount of respect for.
The only one?
Yeah. Like my respect level for catchers is equitable to that of like a middle linebacker in football.
Like you don't respect third baseman in Major League Baseball.
No, I do to an extent. I kind of respect third baseman the same way I respect like certain positions on the football field. Like I think I view a catcher as a football player as far as toughness and like gumption.
Like a center.
Yeah, like the catcher is a total bad butt. Like that dude freaking rocks. Like I love that guy. You know what I mean? I love that guy. Like hardcore in it. Like that guy's the man.
Got it. Okay.
Left fielder, they're kind of like a Z receiver. Like they're fine. Like I'm fine. Catcher,
center fielder is your X receiver.
Yeah.
Catcher will be your center.
Right fielder,
starting pitcher, your quarterback.
So like here, yeah. So starting pitcher, your quarterback. Catcher,
who's your running back?
Running back's your shortstop.
I'd have said third.
No, third base and right field are in the same category. That's like those two are kind of in the same category. First base,
you got those shots coming down the third base line you got to deal with, and you're acting
first
like that's a throwaway position.
First base is the guy that used to play left tackle that got moved to right guard, and they're like, oh, he's lost his
doesn't have the lateral agility.
Doesn't have the lateral agility anymore. That's your first baseman. All right, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Your middle linebacker with one. You know what? Here's your football positions. All right.
I feel like right field, you could make this argument. Occasionally, left field, maybe.
No, left field's out.
I just don't like. Who are your throwaway third basemen these days? Like, I just don't think they're real.
No, right field and third baseman are studs. Like, they're studs.
What's second base?
Slot receiver.
Like your Wes Welker?
Yeah. Like solid, athletic, but
too small to play anything else.
Can't throw it. Doesn't hit for power. Like, can't throw it anywhere. Like, but he's got a good glove. And
he's asking like Brett Boone didn't hit for power.
Okay, so there was but Jeff Kent. There were 3 third basemen ever. The second baseman that hit for power, ever. All right, ever. Your running back is your shortstop. Your middle linebacker, enforcer, eraser is your catcher. Your third baseman is your like free safety. Your right fielder is your strong safety. Your center fielder is a corner or X receiver. Your Z receiver is your left fielder. Slot receiver is your second baseman. First base is the left tackle that got slid down to left guard because he doesn't have the quickness anymore. Pitcher is your quarterback, and I think we just covered them all.
That's about right. Pitcher works once every 5 days. Quarterback works 5th of the time.
Yeah, but when you're at the work, you got to work hard.
Yeah, work smart.
Yeah, how mad are you?
Accurately.
How
I don't know
mad
about
are you that
working
we just
hard.
nailed it?
I don't know about working hard.
You mad that we nailed it?
You have to work accurately and intelligently, but yes.
And your DH is your center, who's good at one thing and one thing only, snapping.
That's it. Yeah.
Being fat.
I would say the DH is your kicker, basically. Yeah. It's about the same.
Long snapper, actually.
Yeah. Pick any. DH is just basically special teams. That's essentially what it is.
Yes.
I'm fine with that. All right. Spring weather in Alabama, something you might not be fine with, but it is unpredictable. That's why you need the reliability of a Trane, voted America's most trusted HVAC brand. Right now, you can receive a 10-year warranty on parts and labor on select Trane home comfort systems. Find out more at Trane.com. Remember, it's hard to stop a Trane. Dave in Hoover wants to chime in on first baseman. Welcome in, Dave.
Yeah, actually, I played third in college, but so first base to the left-handed hitter is what third base is to the right-handed hitter. Now, how many times you see a Little League game? Ground ball goes to short of third. First baseman kid goes over and he puts his foot in the back before the ball is even released. Major league first baseman, along with college, you stand 6 inches from the bag. When the throw comes over from third towards the outfield, the first baseman takes a half step to the right, points to the ball, reaches out and catches it, takes his left foot and steps back and touches the bag. If you don't do that, you've locked yourself into the bag, and if it's a wide throw, you're going to miss it. The other problem is you've got
hold on. You're saying first baseman touch the bag after they catch the ball?
At the same time or after. Because what you do is you're standing 4 or 5 inches from the bag. Look at Freddie Freeman next time. When the ball goes on the ground, he stands next to the bag. And if the throw was wide towards the outfield, if his back foot is stepping on the bag towards home plate on the corner, that's a wide throw, he can't reach it. So he's standing at the middle of the bag, takes his right foot, you step out, you reach out, catch a ball, take your left foot, reach back and touch the bag. Now, if it's a bam-bam play, it's going to be a little bit different, but he's got to judge the ball where the ball's coming, if it's inside, if it's outside, where it is. The other problem you've got is, and Freddie Freeman's the best at it, is a ground ball in the hole between first and second. He cuts it off. He's got to position himself to turn the double play to throw the ball to second, to not throw it over the runner's head or hit the runner. So, I mean, first base is not quite as easy as everybody thinks it is. And, by the way, the quarterback on the field is your shortstop. The shortstop has to know on cutoffs where everybody's supposed to be. He's out calling numbers, telling where people to go. He's actually the quarterback on the field. On the infield,
I also feel like, Dave, like demeanor and like gear and attire, shortstop and quarterback go together. Like they're always holding up how many outs there are. Like, buddy, we know there's 2 outs, okay? Like we got it. Like center fielder caught them both. We don't need you telling everybody how many outs there are. We get it.
Alphas.
Correct. He's reminding the second baseman, hey, we got an offside here.
He's
the guy
not. He's
knows
trying to draw
every
attention to
back.
himself is what he's doing.
No, the second base, we already declared. The second base is their slot receiver. That's the guy literally knows nothing. I had to signal every route to him. We understand that.
Absolutely.
We're on the same page.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm
All
gonna
right,
have to start
guys.
watching the first base thing you're talking about because I have not perceived it that way, but I'll have to start paying attention to that. By the way, two of your top home run leaders in Major League Baseball. Your home run leader right now in Major League Baseball is a converted player to first base.
Oh, you don't say. The guy from the Athletics?
Tyler Sauterson, catcher who's now playing some first.
Imagine that.
But I also wonder too, is that a way to utilize him both ways? Because I don't think they ask these guys to catch every day anymore.
Well, he plays for the Athletics. So keep that in mind.
He's a Major League Baseball player.
I agree. I understand that. But the Athletics, because of funds.
Are you Damien now?
No, they're Moneyball. They have to get their best players on the field somewhere. If their catcher and their first baseman, if they have two catchers that are both good, it's like, oh shoot, well we got to take one of those catchers and we got to find a place for him. You know this.
Okay.
Didn't Brad Pitt teach you this?
I have not taken any lessons from Brad Pitt.
Just don't dance in the locker room. He'll cut you.
It's true. And don't complain about having to pay for Cokes in the locker room either.
If you're
David
talking about
Justice found out.
the 86 Mets, that's a totally different conversation. Back with more Mac and Cube next. We did have some feedback on Greg's hatred for most baseball positions.
How is it hatred?
Nick tweets in, Bo was a running back playing outfield, but short is your running back, LOL.
He played center field. I said that center field's a baller, and so is third base, right field, and shortstop. Those are baller positions, and catcher.
Dion played outfield. He was a corner.
Yeah.
Brian Jordan played outfield. He was a safety. I don't think that's the only one that's applicable there.
No, a lot of people can play outfield. Center fielder is your best athlete.
Garrett Anderson tweets in, Todd Hilton played first base and quarterback at Tennessee. He could have been moved to right guard in like 1967 when lineman weighed 217.
Yeah.
Not the one we talked about the other day. He was 199.
He was 199?
The guy we talked about, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Greg Hendricks tweeted in, go ahead and put Greg in the oven. I'm an ex-catcher and never wanted anything to do with first or third. We called them the oven because anything hit to them was hot. Dude, some of those balls hit down third baseline, especially high-level baseball. Oh,
No, you play third base, you're a dude.
you're getting smoked.
You ain't worried about nothing at third base. If you're, I think of all the positions to me, if you can be any position, being a hardcore third baseman is probably one of the sweetest jobs you could have. That is, you're a dude at third base. First
John
base you can
tweets
have.
in, the quarterback in baseball is the catcher. He's the only one that see everyone's face, touches the ball, and calls out situations before and during the play.
Catchers are tougher than quarterbacks.
He's also the only one that has the communication device, right?
That's
well,
true.
unless you play for the Astros.
That's true. That's true. But they have one of those traditional communication devices like a trash can.
And the vibrating wristbands.
Yeah.
John Mack tweets in, quarterback on the field is catcher, just like catcher touches the ball more than anybody. I actually disagree with that. There is one position that touches the ball more than quarterback.
Center.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not, but you're not always in on long snapping, and sometimes quarterbacks hold, so we touch it more than you.
No.
Kick rocks.
Wrong. Catcher calls the pitches, sets the defense. Catcher just isn't an A money sign like all QBs. I was a catcher. Yeah, QBs.
Catcher, pitcher, either one, don't care. I like I've said from the beginning, I think catcher's your biggest. That dude doesn't care.
I agree with
That
everything
dude's
that John
hardcore.
Mack said right there, except for just the demeanor and the makeup of catcher and quarterback is not similar.
Catchers are dirtier,
Just tougher.
nastier.
Just tough.
Quarterbacks are
Gritty.
not as tough as catchers. I agree with that. A little bit more pretty boy.
Gritty. Yeah, shortstop and quarterback hand in hand.
Like, you think Shador Sanders would be a good catcher?
Like stupid eye black, quarterback, shortstop, extra wristbands, quarterback, shortstop.
That's the dumbest. That's so dumb.
Like quarterback has a hat when they come off the field. That's something a shortstop would
I know
do.
no baseball players have hats.
That's that. I mean, that wasn't directly applicable, but just like having more gear than other people. Like you have to have your hat when you come off. Give me my hat. Just different sunglasses. It goes hand in hand. Shortstop, quarterback. It's the same thing.
I still think pitcher and quarterback are the
Making
most.
stupid hand signals that don't count. Trying to boss everybody around, tell everybody what to do. Oh, that's my ball. I can call everybody off. No center fielder
Can you
call
win
off.
without? Can you win without good play at shortstop? It's just a simple yes or no question.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Can you win without good pitching? No.
Not really.
Quarterback is your pitcher, whether you want to acknowledge it or not.
So who's the closer? Your good quarterback?
Anyone that steps on the mound is your quarterback. The mound is your quarterback. Like, you can't win without him.
Is the closer like your Tebow to your Leak?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, a little change of pace. I can get on board with that.
Okay. All right. Can you get on board with Shannara Flooring?
Yeah, always. They have 40,000 square feet of Cortec flooring in stock, and Fu and his company have done a great job of building a company on foundation and trust, and they will respect your home when they come in and install your floors. I mean, they will take great care of your home as if it's their own. And that Cortec flooring that's in stock, you can check it out and go see it. It's beautiful. This is pet-proof, waterproof, kid-proof. It's great in kitchens, laundry rooms, bathrooms. You can put it anywhere. And these really are so easy to maintain, so easy to clean, and they bring great value to your home down the road. Get 12 months financing with approved credit. So if you're thinking about making some changes to your floors, call who? Call Foo. Call them at 205-518-6423, or you can go online at fooandyou.com.
All right, so we will keep you updated on the transfer portal throughout the rest of the show. We have 1 hour to go, and what's it going to mean for different teams, who they're going to get, who's going to come out, who they're going to lose. We talked a little bit earlier, Greg, to Pete Nakos, and he said he didn't expect any big departures from Auburn or Alabama today. However, there is a fairly large departure from an SEC school that we need to announce, and we'll do that next on Mac and Cube in the morning. A big name from the Southeastern Conference hitting the transfer portal, as today is the day that the spring transfer portal window opens. Georgia running back Branson Robinson, Greg, going to hit the portal 5'10", 220, 2 years of eligibility remaining, has had some good moments in Athens, done some good things, but a talented tailback that somebody going to be able to pull into their roster.
Yeah, and he's the guy, I feel like he's had some injury history, but has been one of those guys that was kind of a poised for a breakout name that people have mentioned around the program for a couple of years now. So maybe he's the guy you could bring in. A couple running backs now. That's how many running backs have jumped in. That
we've seen some good names.
There's some decent quality at that position right now.
Some good names in the transfer portal. Also, Pete Thamel reporting that FAU is set to announce their next head basketball coach, and that will be none other than former Heisman Trophy winner Charlie Ward.
The FAU basketball coach is going to be Charlie Ward. Love that.
I'm sorry, FAMU.
Oh, FAMU.
Correct. Finalizing a deal to hire Charlie Ward as their next men's basketball coach. I'll say this. I've had a chance to be around Charlie 2 or 3 times. Amazing human being. Wonderful person. Obviously, the name recognition going to be there no matter what, football or basketball. Guy played in the NBA. Guy won a Heisman Trophy. Maybe one of the most underrated overall athletes that we've seen in the history of our country. But a pretty cool name to be able to bring in for Florida A&M, Greg.
Well, it just continues a kind of a trend in which HBCUs are really going after high-profile professional athletes to bring more notoriety to their program. I think it makes sense. It's worked with success at a handful of programs already. So I don't blame FAMU for going after Charlie Ward in basketball to continue to kind of bolster the notoriety they could get moving forward. So I think it's smart. It's obviously been a tried and true formula that's been working.
You mentioned running back, and a couple of names here in the spring window have gone in. I want to take One Service's top 5, top 8, maybe top 10 running backs that have hit the portal this offseason, not just this spring cycle. And I want to hear from you guys, who would you want? Who would you take? Because the rankings are going to be a little bit surprising for some of you, I believe. And I think the names will be very different potentially for who we want, because that's a position. Let's just fast forward into this year's NFL draft. It might be the deepest running back class we have ever seen, ever. I mean, I think there are guys outside of the top 10 running backs on the board. They're going to start in the NFL one day. You got a ton of talent heading there, and there's a ton of talent at that position that's going to be changing schools in college football this upcoming season. We'll discuss those and more next on McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. running back is a position that many would say has been devalued, yet if you look at the landing spots of 24/7 Sports top running backs out of the portal, you would get Michigan, South Carolina, Oklahoma, Utah, Mississippi State, Missouri, Minnesota, Texas Tech, Oregon, Ohio State, as far as where those guys are going to land. The next few would be Kentucky, Indiana, Virginia Tech, SMU, Ole Miss. And those are not all coming from other Power 5 schools. Well, let's just take what do you want to take? The top 5, top 10 ranked running backs according to 24/7 Sports?
Sure.
Number 1, they have Justice Haynes, Alabama to Michigan. Number 2, Rashul Faison, Utah State to South Carolina.
He's legit.
3, Jaden Ott, Cal to Oklahoma.
I would have him 1.
4, Wayshawn Parker, Washington State to Utah. 5, Fluff Bothwell, South Alabama to Mississippi State. 6, Ahmad Hardy, ULM to Mizzou. 7, A.J. Turner, Marshall to Minnesota. 8, Quentin Joyner, SC to Texas Tech. 9, Malachi Hughes, Tulane to Oregon. 10, C.J. Donaldson, West Virginia to Ohio State.
Bunch of good ones.
Bunch of good ones.
Which one's your favorite?
I would probably go Makai Hughes.
Really?
And
Over Ott?
And then I was going to say Jaden Ott. Only the injury thing might put him ahead of Ott. And I will just say this. If we're running outside zone, I'll take Ahmad Hardy. Because he has a great feel for it. He gets it. He understands it. He's always been successful in it. And he's going to another place that runs it. So I love Ahmad Hardy. Love the way he runs. He's not afraid to help him pass pro. Like I think he's a really good back.
Yep.
And he ran outside zone there at ULM. He'll run it at Missouri. He just has a really good feel for it. Is he the best overall of all these guys? No, probably not.
Makai Hughes is set to have a really good season.
I think he's big time.
I mean, he's a good player. And at Oregon, it's a good situation. They're going to marry up the run and the pass. I feel like their backs get involved in the receiving game a lot. I think it's a good spot to be.
I mean, they ran a lot of two-back stuff.
Why is Justice Haynes 1? I'm not saying he's not a good back.
No, but you've answered this question on this show before.
Oh, it's because he had 5 stars. I just wanted you to say it. I like him fine. I think he's a solid back. I just don't think he's as good as the aforementioned few.
No, because you mentioned Rashul Faison. I've watched his film at Utah State. He's a really good player. I mean,
really good.
He's about a guy that bounces off people, like can get to the corner, get to the edge. I think he does sort of shut runs down a bit early at times, but then he'll get to the sideline and he doesn't go out of bounds. It's just I think there are certain runs when he'll spare gas at times. If that makes sense. I haven't seen a lot of Wayshawn Parker out of Washington State. 6'1", 199 though. I don't have a great familiarity with him. I've watched Fluff Bothwell. I think he's a really good back. I don't think he's as dynamic as a couple of the others that we mentioned.
I think if his name was Joe Grady, we wouldn't be talking about him the same way.
He's productive though.
He is productive, but I think I listen to podcasts during the football seasons like every single week. There was like a Fluff Bothwell update. It's like, all right, he's fine.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like he's fine. I don't think he's a game changer personally.
I do think that Quentin Joyner has a chance to be pretty good at Texas Tech. I think he kind of split time and didn't get a chance to just like solidify himself as a guy all the time. We mentioned Ahmad Hardy. I'm a big fan of his. I like him a lot. Jay Knott is a hammer when he's healthy, a guy that I love. So there are a lot of good names here. Like the Draylon Washington kid coming to Alabama from ULL. They played 3 running backs last year. Legitimately played 3, maybe 4. So he didn't have a ton of carries compared to some of these other guys. But he's got an extra gear. Like he can go. He's one of those kind of, I don't like making the comps or whatever, but he's shorter to the ground, like lower to the ground, low center of gravity, but can scoot. He reminds me of a kid I played with named Sincade Pennington, who could have been great, had some trouble holding on to the football, but like just low center of gravity, very shifty, quick, but also when he needed to put his shoulder down, he could do it.
Yeah.
The Darrell Robinson kid from UConn going to Auburn, I think he's a little bit upright too much, but I do think he has good vision, good speed. I just think the play has to be, He doesn't create on his own a whole lot. And that would concern me just a little bit. There's just a ton of good backs on the move.
There's a ton of good backs in the sport. I mean, if you look at the NFL draft class of running backs, think about how many good running backs there are in this class. I mean, I feel like running back, given the negativity surrounding the position and the lack of importance that the position has now, like totally disagree. Do I think Saquon changed that a little bit in the NFL last year? Perhaps, to an extent. That might have had a bit of an effect, like a reverberating effect with how we assess what these guys are capable of, sure, and the importance that they might have on the team. But at the same time, man, like running back, it has become a bit of a dime a dozen position, but everybody needs multiple backs.
Yes.
Think about how many teams last year got into really significant jeopardy with a lack of running back depth. Texas A&M, Texas, like a handful of teams, if they were one injury away, they were in big trouble.
Georgia was playing a freshman back.
Georgia got banged up. Well, when ETN was banged up, they had other guys, but they've been thin in running back in the last couple of years. Bama lost Richard Young early. They're like, that's a position that has a chance to get banged up. LSU had next to nobody there for a little bit. They had, if not for Durham, they're in big trouble.
Oklahoma last year had some running back depth problems. I'm just going to go by ESPN's rankings right now, best available at running back. I'm going to start at 20, Greg.
Yeah.
20. So there are 19 running backs ahead of this. And these are the running backs that are next on the NFL draft board this year, according to ESPN.com. Marcus Yarns, Delaware. Now, we haven't seen a ton of him. Rocket Sanders, South Carolina. Kyle pronounce his last name from Rutgers. Monungai. Taj Brooks, Texas Tech. Ollie Gordon, Oklahoma State. Jarquez Hunter, Auburn. Jaquindon Jackson, Arkansas. When he was healthy, he can go. Donovan Edwards, Michigan. Corey Kiner, Cincinnati, who, whether you watched him at LSU or Cincinnati, he ran for over 1,000 last year. He can go. Montrell Johnson at 29. The dude's as steady as you're going to get at that position.
Yep.
Ulysses Bentley, who, when he's playing and he's healthy, can fly. And 31, Phil Maffa, Clemson. Like, those are very good, really good collegiate running backs, very productive running backs that are in the low 20s of this draft class. It's unreal, the running back depth in this year's NFL draft class. Like, we know Ashton Genty's going to be great. Amarian Hampton's going to be big time in the NFL. If Travion's healthy, he can be big time in the NFL. Dylan Sampson's going to be a big time NFL back.
Yep.
And then you got guys like Damian Martinez that are going to be a little bit more hammerish, a little bit more north-south, kind of like a Quinshawn. But if Travion Henderson's healthy, he'll be great. Caleb Johnson is going to be a downhill back that can help you. Scattaboo might be able to help some teams. DJ Giddens, Jordan James, Trevor Etienne, Bracial Tootin. I mean, Woody Marks, Jaden Blue. There's a ton of backs right now. And it's kind of interesting that the position has reemerged a little bit. Like you said, number one, from a number standpoint, you got to have more than one. And then number two, you use them different ways. So their value. I mean, how many backs do we see motioned out of the backfield now?
Oh my gosh.
Or motioned into the backfield.
Situational running backs. I mean, it's wild how many, hey, this guy's your short yardage guy. This guy's your third down guy. This guy's your first and second down outside guy. This guy's your first, second down inside guy. Like you have a bunch of guys that play different roles because backs are now totally comfortable. Backs are not going to their coaches like, I need more touches. I want 25 touches a game. Like, no back right now has that mentality. They're like, I want to maybe have more tread on the tires when I get to the league. So if I need to share carries a la Travion Henderson with Quinshon Judkins last year, then so be it. I'm in. That's going to be good for both of us. I think backs have kind of had that altered perception where, yeah, I want the ball every time, but that's not in a way the way it's going to be moving forward.
Yeah, it's an intriguing position for a lot of reasons, and there are multiple quality backs on the move in college football this year, some of which let's take a little bit of a different approach here. And we'll just go numbers, which can be deceiving. Obviously, you can have backs that had better years that don't get those carries you talked about. Of those backs that we mentioned, we'll go top 10 in the portal right now. Justice Haynes, Rashul Faison, South Carolina, Jaden Ott, Wayshawn Parker, Fluff Bothwell, Ahmad Hardy, A.J. Turner, Quentin Joyner, Mekhi Hughes, C.J. Donaldson. Who has the best year statistically?
Probably Mekhi Hughes.
I would say Hughes at Oregon, Hardy at Missouri, or Ott at Oklahoma would have been my choices. But then, I mean, I could see I know you're talking about like not getting the carries. I could see Justice Haynes getting like 185 carries at Michigan.
Yeah, and averaging 4.7 of carry.
Well, if he's in the end zone 14 times, that's all of a sudden that's a hell of a year.
That's cool. He might go for 850. I mean, I think he's a fine back. I just don't think he's I don't think he's a monster.
Well, he's the guy that I think a team, if there's a possibility of them just leaning on one, I think he's that guy that they just say, yeah, we're going to give you 25 to 32 a game.
Maybe so. And he does have a little bit of a Blake Corum build. So I could see him having a very successful season.
Yeah. If they don't have to play a freshman at quarterback and maybe the passing game's not, I don't think it's going to be asked to be.
Have you seen Michigan's O-line situation?
It's not the best right now. It's not the best right now.
They're hoping that Cal Poly transfer is going to be their guy.
Whoa.
Cal Polytechnic. It's not a school. It's not a city. Poly's not a city.
What about Mikey Keene?
He's a quarterback. Can he play right guard?
But no, that's what I'm saying. Like they have quarterbacks coming in to help also.
That's true. But they added 2 transfers along the offensive line last year. One was from Cal Poly. The other was from Ferris State, who's now come up twice this year.
Lawrence Hatter or Hattar?
Hattar.
Ferris State.
I don't know.
6'5", 335. I got to go watch some Ferris State film. Where can we get it?
I don't know. I got nothing for you.
That doesn't look good right there.
I'm about to say, I'm concerned about
driving diamond.
I can promise you what I'm not doing.
At 65 in Lakeshore.
Let me tell you what I'm not doing. Driving around Homewood when this thing goes into play.
Driving diamond. I've never heard of that. Have you heard of a driving diamond, John?
What? I mean, it's kind of like a roundabout, but Homewood's just trying to be different.
A roundabout?
A boot? Homewood's just trying to be cool. I get it. I dig it.
Isn't that just a 4-way square just shifted slightly if it's a diamond?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Look how ingenuity.
The grid that they put up there, the CGI graphic they put up of that. I'm not like when do you stop? Is it like a roundabout when you have the option to stop, or is there red lights? I honestly couldn't tell how it's going to work.
I think there's stop signs.
Not at the corner of 65 and Lakeshore. You can't have stop signs.
Oh yeah,
stop it.
Yep, need it.
That thing's not. No. That can't happen either. All right, we'll get to a break. When we come back, there is more portal news. You knew you were going to get it today. We have more of it right after this on Mac and Cube in the morning. Wednesday, April 16th, 9:16 a.m. right here on Jocks 94.5. 800-239-9569. You want to get in, 800-239-WJOX. Text into the show, 205-834-9450. Transfer portal news, transfer portal discussions that you want to get into, you want to talk about. There is obviously just going to be constant updates from the portal, on the portal, of different guys looking to go different places. Virginia starting right tackle Blake Steen has now entered the transfer portal, played 1,202 snaps the last 2 years. So he'll be valuable. There are not a lot of tackles out there, Greg, that people want to bring in and that they have confidence in, can come in and be a starter.
And there's some
hold
teams
up.
that need one like right now, like absolutely must have. And that's a weird thing to say. Like if you're going into the summer without a proven left tackle, Ohio State did this a couple years ago. San Diego State starting left tackle, hopped in the portal, and he ended up becoming a great player for the Buckeyes. Got hurt in the middle of the last year, but was really good. Why can't I remember his name? You know what I'm talking about.
Jordan Simmons, is that correct?
Josh Simmons.
Josh Simmons, sorry.
Great job.
I was thinking Jordan Morgan from Arizona.
That was good. Hey, collaboration. Wisconsin, though, a good example there. Like Wisconsin, they had their starting left tackle get injured, torn ACL in the spring. They literally have nobody to play left tackle. Not one person. Like they can slide out, but it's going to be, it's like when.
Well, they're in on the kid from South Dakota who hit the portal yesterday, apparently.
So, I mean, but teams have to have them. And that's a tough spot to be in.
Hayes Fawcett has a tweet that came out a minute ago. Breaking! Notre Dame safety Kennedy Urlacher entering the transfer portal. 5'11", 200, have 3 years of eligibility. Yes, Brian is his dad. So, nothing on that. You had Notre Dame a couple times last year late. Not a lot of discussion about.
He didn't play very much.
Okay. All right.
I didn't see him.
Matt Zenitz has an update on the Nico Iamaleava situation. Now, keep in mind here, we went into the first day wondering how it was going to happen. Second day, waiting to hear who was going to be interested. Third day, there were a couple of teams interested. North Carolina was one. They were out. People tried to shove Tulane down our throat. Then they were out. UCLA has been the only other team. And correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. Is there another team that anybody has given us real information on that may be interested in Nico Iamaleava? Anyone other than UCLA?
I don't have one for you.
Okay. Matt Zenitz tweets out, there doesn't seem to be much traction at the moment with UCLA and Nico Iamaleava.
Oh, no. No.
He follows that up with remains difficult to get a great read on what the true market is for him right now.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Don't.
Don't.
Whoever is bidding on him, are they competing against themselves?
Are they bidding right now?
No.
Or what's the opposite of bid of where you wait to see what somebody's offer is going to fall to? Like what teams are even delaying them right now? What teams are even pushing the negotiations out just to see if they may be interested if it comes down?
I honestly don't know.
And how dumb is the family going to be on not going down? Is he going to play this year? Serious question, Greg. Does Nico Iamaleava play football in 2025?
Do you honestly think that, first of all, not many people are looking for a starting quarterback this time of year?
Think about what we're talking about, though. Like, you are a starting quarterback in the Southeastern Conference
for a playoff team
that went to the playoff that is going to ask you to throw the ball a lot.
In a very quarterback-friendly offense. That's where we are.
And you literally stiff-armed it and walked away.
But you know what's funny is, I mean, is it a possibility? I'm just saying this. Like maybe, and he's already played 3 years of football, right? Like he's played 3 years of college football, correct?
Well, I don't think that the year he played in the bowl.
You're right.
This will be his third year out of high school.
So he's not draft eligible.
No, he can go to the NFL after this upcoming year.
I was going to say, he could, the one option would be a supplemental, the NFL supplemental draft, but he's not eligible.
No. Which is why You saw certain people over the weekend bring up the possibility of him looking at a UFL situation. Like, would he do it for maybe a year? Because there may not be a college that takes him. That was Emory Hunt tweeted out, if I'm a UFL team, I'd reach out to Nico to gauge his interest. Because at this point, the bridge may be burning college football. And I quoted Emory on that and said, never doubt quarterback desperation.
Yeah, but
which I still stand by, but this is starting to look different, man. Like, this is starting to look a little bit different.
We said it from the beginning. You run the risk, and whether you like this or not, want to disregard this or not, it is reality. If you bring him in, it opens the door for every other member of your roster to come in and renegotiate. Whether you like that or not, that will happen. That is a trickle-down effect of bringing Nico to the table.
Okay, so
I think.
I don't think you're wrong, but I do think that this situation has turned a little bit. I don't think it is about, and when I say, is he going to play? I still am not going to say that there's not going to be a school that would bring him in, start him, play him, whatever. Excuse me. I don't think that that's real. My point here is, and the thing that I think needs the focus now, and we're not going to know because the family's not going to tell us, so we don't really have an idea of what that offer might dwindle to.
Yeah.
Or what the asking price might dwindle to. But that's where I think we are now, Greg. I think the question is no longer, would a school take him? Like I said, never question quarterback desperation. Think about the guys in the NFL over the last 10, 15 years that have had more opportunities to continue to play quarterback. And not just NFL, college. There are multiple schools that have taken guys, and we've all said, what? Guys, Mike Wright's going to go play quarterback somewhere else this fall. Nate Johnson is going to go somewhere else to try to play quarterback this fall. Cam Rising might still play college football this upcoming fall.
Yeah.
These guys are going to get chances. I don't think the question any longer is, would someone give him a chance? The question is, what's the family willing to take? And that is level of school, number one, and amount of money, number two.
Will they allow their ego to be bruised to the point where he plays at a place like Fresno State?
It's San Diego State,
because
would be a great offense for him, by the way.
Look, we had people tell us, or I've had someone tell me, I don't know if they told you this or who you talked to, but there are guys that were top flight quarterbacks in high school that were being pursued by certain schools that were in the Power Four. And they finally, when it came down, it was perfect fit, had staff familiarity, had all this stuff. But when came time to make that decision, they thought to themselves, I was the top quarterback in the country coming out of high school, or one of the top quarterbacks in the country. I can't play there. It's a shot to the ego. I can't play there. I have to go somewhere with a little bit more star-studdedness. And that, I think, is a real thing. That is a real thing.
Well, it's like, what is it, Malachi Nelson going to New Mexico State?
Yeah.
I mean, he started USC. It didn't work. You go to Boise, you're supposed to be the starter. Everyone's shocked when he's not named the starter. And now he's going to go down to New Mexico State, which, by the way, is an offense where he might put up massive numbers. But to your point, it probably took him a while to say, okay, I will play at New Mexico State.
Yep.
I mean, imagine you're being recruited to be the starter at USC at quarterback. I think it's a fair assumption to believe that it's going to take a while for your brain to actually grasp, okay, I'll go play quarterback at New Mexico State now.
Correct. I don't see it.
Unless you're TJ Finley and you'll just play anywhere.
Well, he doesn't have an NFL future. So I can understand, hey, I gotta take one more bite at the apple. Like I get that. You know what I mean? I mean, Nico's probably going to have a chance to play in the NFL. The fact that you
has
would
the skill
leave,
set, yes.
It's just amazing to me. I'm still just absolutely amazed that a guy would walk away from a good situation. I just don't understand it. For a couple $100,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I just don't get it. I mean, you are in a good situation. You're going to go and be a starting quarterback. You're not looking over your shoulder. That's the dream. You're an established starter with experience and have had little success. Now it's the opportunity to take the next step as a player. and you decide to throw it all away. It's just mind blowing to me.
A couple other SEC players are entering the portal. We'll give you those names, who they are on the other side, and have a discussion about not only this Nico Iamaleava situation and what that means to maybe the school that he ends up at or goes to, but another school that the depth is becoming a real issue at certain spots because of another portal entry in the Southeastern Conference. We'll discuss those right after this on Mac and Cube in the morning. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Appreciate you guys tuning in. There's one school that is having a very different portal experience than any other, Greg. We'll get to that one in just a moment. First,
Ferris State?
Yeah, maybe. I haven't seen everything happening to Ferris State via the portal.
Gotcha. All right.
But I can go try and find that if I need to. There's not even a link on the logos on 24/7 when you click Ferris State to show you like all the guys from Ferris State that are hitting the portal. But the fact that we've talked about 2 today tells me it's probably a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just straight up. So, yes, that will be one. First, depth at a position that we have talked about before. Arkansas true freshman wide receiver Quentin Murphy's entered the portal. Now, here's my question on this one. Help me with this.
All right.
True freshman. If you played last year, you're not a true freshman anymore, right? If you're on the team.
Yes.
So you tell me that was he an early enrollee? Class of 2025 3-star recruit enrolled at Arkansas in January.
Yeah, so
he's already out?
Went through spring.
And he's leaving?
Why is this difficult to comprehend?
I'm not saying that I don't know this happens, but when I see this to this extent, like this, it just feels egregious and it feels ridiculous.
He's got to get his. They didn't give him. They didn't target him enough in the spring game that they didn't have. Don't you know?
Actually, Arkansas spring game is this weekend.
Oh,
it's one that we haven't talked about. Arkansas, Mississippi State, A&M, Saturday, South Carolina, Friday night.
heck yeah!
I mean, come on, man. But that's a position that we talked about with Arkansas, Greg, that we're a little uncertain on. Depth could be a bit of an issue, and I don't know if Quentin Murphy, a 3-star, was going to be able to help a lot or a little or a ton or none. I don't know. But I do know they need bodies there, capable bodies, because they have a chance to have a decent offense. But they're going to have guys that can catch the football. And a couple of them that could left. So we'll see. A team having a very different transfer portal day. Get to that in just a moment. First, I'll tell you about Game Day Men's Health. If you, like some of these college coaches right now, are feeling on edge, because let's be honest, they are. Just waiting to see that portal player hit with their name on it. If you lack energy, getting poor sleep, Game Day Men's Health can help. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com right now. Schedule a free consultation. They're going to get you a PSA test, a testosterone test, and they're going to find ways that they can help you. Also, weight loss, if you're looking for that, they have multiple programs that can help you with there. And now have the peptides in stock now for energy, anti-aging, skin care, overall health that they can mix together and match just for you. And going to be able to help you with your daily routine, help you get better sleep, help you focus better throughout the course of the day, help your skin look better. All at Game Day Men's Health. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com right now. Tell them you heard about them right here on Mac and Cube in the morning. Save 10% on any service that they offer. More than 25 players have entered the transfer portal from
No idea.
not Ferris State. I don't know. West by God, Virginia.
In the spring?
Today.
Already?
Today.
They did have a bunch of guys that they brought in. Wow.
Yeah. To say the least.
That's a lot.
It's a big number. Now,
huge number.
Some of those guys, I'm sure, have been made aware that their services will not be needed, but not 25. You're not running 25, are you? You better feel pretty good about getting some back in.
How many are scholarship guys? Do we know that?
Don't know the answer to that, no. 25 players from West Virginia have hit the portal today, this morning.
All because no TikTok.
They just wanted to dance.
Bands make them. Rich Rod, GameDayMen'sHealth.com. 25 in a morning? And I know you expect some, but that's got to be more than they thought we're going to go down. Has to be. Ole Miss gets another commitment out of the transfer portal. Clemson cornerback Tavoy Fagan has committed to Ole Miss.
All right.
So the portal king continues. Colorado safety Savion Riley has entered the transfer portal. Former Vanderbilt safety. He had 12 tackles last year.
Is that a lot?
UCF cornerback Traquan Fagans. Does that name ring a bell?
Yeah.
From
I'm not sure from where.
Alabama.
Oh, was he at Alabama a couple years ago?
And USC. So he'll be on his fourth school.
Heck yeah.
I will say this. In this portal cycle right now that started today, we have absolutely seen more guys on their third and fourth school than we have in any other portal cycle we've talked about.
It's almost like the guys that are transferring this time around are really only in it for the money.
Or don't have many options.
Or they've been told by their they've been told by their team that this is your last chance to go and get it, because if this house settlement passes, you're never going to get paid like this again.
Syracuse offensive lineman Kalen Ellis has entered the transfer portal. He has 14 career starts.
That's not bad.
Offensive linemen, we know they're going to be coveted. They just don't feel like there's a ton of good ones out there. And so I feel like some of those guys are going to hit the portal and they're going to have offers, and they're probably going to end up finding a decent place to go. Because as you and I have stated, the comfort level of offensive lines in the Southeastern Conference right now, top to bottom, not overly great. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
So
I'm kind of amazed. I'm looking at all these guys jumping in, by the way. I'm kind of amazed at the sheer quantity of guys. I don't know the quality. I will admit. I don't know the quality of some of these guys, whether they're good, average, bad, what have you. I don't know. I'm not sure I'll ever know. I'm never going to take the time to go watch Ferris State. I'm just not going to do it. I refuse. I'm putting my foot down.
Speak for yourself.
I will allow you to. I will delegate that responsibility to you. That's fine. I will abstain and allow you to go all in. But what I'm very curious about is how things have set up and how many of these guys are actually looking for an opportunity to play. Because in our day, right, it was all about how can I play? Fastest way to get on the field, whether that's by going from defense to offense, whether that's by going from offense to defense, whether that's by going from slot receiver to corner or vice versa, whether that's to go from high-level Power 5 quarterback backup to starting caliber quarterback at the G5 spot. Like, all those things are perfectly fair. Like, I really believe that in our day it was all about playing. How many of these guys are actually looking for an opportunity to play? Or are they just looking for money?
Greg, they can't even state it correctly when they don't know what they're looking for. Like Mike Wright saying he wants a spot to compete for the starting quarterback job, yet will consider a position change if the situation's perfect. Those two things don't go together. That's not it. I mean, those don't work. It's not the same thing. You're not looking for the same thing. You're looking for one. You want to go play? You want to go compete? Or will you do what someone tells you to do because they're giving you a bigger check? Those aren't the same things. So they don't even know how to tell us what they're looking for. And we're surprised by the confusion of what they actually want. They want their cake and they want to eat it too. I think it's I want to go compete, I want to go start. Unless you have more money than everywhere else I'm offering, and sure, I'll come be a tight end or I'll be a left tackle. Because at least I'm getting a check. I mean, cool. I don't really care where it is. But I mean, I'll give it a go. 800-239-9569, 800-239-WJOX. You want to get in. Front Office Sports now has an article up on the Nico Iamaleava saga, if you will. And there are comments from the other side of this. We'll share a couple of those with you next on Mac and Cube in the morning. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Wednesday, April 16th, 9:45. As we continue talking transfer portal, Front Office Sports has a story up now on the Nico saga, if we can call it that. Situation, story. Part of the story reads, from a family friend involved in the negotiations, tells Front Office Sports, the narrative was bull stuff.
What narrative?
I believe the narrative that they were trying
That he was
to
greedy?
go up the deal, renegotiate.
So wait, so he was content with his situation, which is what led to him not practicing.
You would have to ask said family friend.
Well, I think said family friend is basically insinuating that everything was fine. They just wanted to have a conversation. Meanwhile, Nico sat out practice on Friday.
The friend declined to be identified.
Yeah.
He denied claims that Iamaleava pushed for more NIL money.
So what did he push for? Starting spot? Guaranteed? What do you ask for? And why do you hold out? What does he want? Better wide receivers? Like, what does he want? Do you hold out so you can get better players around you?
The family friend says his representation hasn't steered him wrong. At the end of the day, what did we do wrong to steer him and put him in a bad situation? We didn't.
You left a starting job.
I mean, if this is the real mindset of his camp, we might have much bigger problems.
Surround yourself with smart people. That's what I'd recommend.
Iamaleava's representatives
you become who you hang out with.
Iamaleava's representatives had a conversation with head coach Josh Heupel and explained what they would need in order for Iamaleava to stay, the friend says. Big Nick said, we want you guys to reassure us that you're going to recruit and get the O-line right, that you're going to go out there and you're going to get receivers. Actually, no, Nick, we were going to play with no receivers this year.
Yep.
We're thinking about going all tight ends. Allow me to familiarize you with 51 personnel.
Yep. I think that makes a lot of sense because you know what? If there's one thing that I know Josh Heupel is trying to do, he does not want his roster to get better. He is not putting an emphasis on recruiting offensive line and receivers. There's no way he would have done that. And he really needed the Iamaleava family to take a hard stance so that he starts to focus on those spots.
Have you seen an 05 personnel before?
Odd 5?
No backs, 5 tight. We're going to protect him, by God. You want protection? We'll get it.
We'll get it.
We might go 7 linemen. He's got one target. We're going to make his decision-making process really easy. He's open or he's not. Throw it to him or throw it away. Tuck and run at your own regard.
Think about how dumb that sounds. Think about the level of intelligence that this interviewee is providing. Said, we didn't want anything from the Tennessee. We just wanted to assure that they were targeting pieces to improve the offense overall. So because I didn't get those assurances, I'm going to skip practice. Okay, nice try. You guys screwed the pooch. Hate to break it to you. You screwed the pooch. You tried to play hardball and you got. Just admit it. Hey, we made a mistake. We overplayed our hand. Would love to go back to Tennessee, and we will even do so at a reduced number.
Tennessee can't do it.
They can't, but that's what I would say. Just admit that you're wrong.
I mean, they're going to let you do it.
I'm not saying they would, but I'm just saying admit you were wrong. Admit you screwed up. You overplayed your hand. You got called.
I don't feel like that's happening, man. I'm just going to be honest with you. Based on some of the comments from this, and we know who this is. This is the former Florida staffer that's helping them out. I mean, the transparency here is ridiculous. Yeah, you come out on Twitter and you blast the guy ends up being right. And you haven't retracted any of that. And then you come out now and try to say that you weren't trying to renegotiate a deal. As you stated, Greg, what were you trying to get? What were the issues? You wanted receivers? Was there not a receiver on the roster? You wanted offensive linemen. Is there not an O lineman on the roster?
Yeah.
Right.
What, you want to bring Orlando Pace out of retirement? Like, what do you want him to do?
That'd be what's up.
Get some wins.
I mean, it's literally dumb. It's honestly one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
They signed Sam Pendleton from Notre Dame, by the way, offensive lineman.
Who is believing this guy?
They got Amari Jefferson, wide receiver from Alabama. They got Wendell Moe, offensive lineman from Arizona. Who can play? I've watched this film. He can play. It's not like they haven't attacked these positions. It's a little mind-boggling as to what does the family want here? You're trying to make people believe that you aren't pressing for more money.
Yeah, they're trying to save face. It's simple. This is very, very simple.
But you have already stated the one way in which they can save face. There's one way. There's only one way.
Yeah.
One singular way, and that's it. There's nothing else. There's no excuse. There's no family friend. There's no family cousin. There's no agent. There's one way this family saves face, and that is admitting that you were wrong and you overplayed your hand and that you're probably now going to take a step back and take a ding.
Yep.
That's it.
You got your bluff called and you found out. That's the way it goes. And guess what? This happens in business all the time.
But you're going to keep pushing this rock down the hill, hoping to start an avalanche.
No one's buying it. So I don't know what the goal is. Like, who cares? You're done. It's toast. It's a wrap. You're done. You got nothing. You've become untouchable. We had said this 2 days ago. She's becoming a pariah. We knew it was coming. You could see it coming. Like, how many coaches? You had Dan Lanning call Josh Heupel and tell him, "Hey, guess what? Nico's being shopped."
Yes, but Greg, I didn't know if the narrative from their side would continue to grow worse. I didn't think that would worsen, and it is. It's getting worse
because they have no options.
They do have an option. You laid it out. My point is to continue to come out and double and triple and quadruple down on this. It's going to get. We don't think it can get worse now. It's getting worse. You're seeing more schools come out publicly say they're not interested. More schools come out and say we're not looking at him. That's making it worse. Now you're getting more guys, family, friends, people tied to the family, which is ridiculous to have them even speak anyway. You should tell everybody in your camp to shut up. Don't say a word. Don't talk to anybody in the media. How have you not hired a damage control specialist by now? Well, you don't have real representation, and real representation knows those peoples who can go out and help you get PR and go out and help reform your image in the public eye. Dads and uncles and assistant coaches don't know how to do that. It's not what they do. I work in the media. I wouldn't even know how to do that. It's not what I do. It's not my job. I didn't think this could get this much worse, but it's worse now, and it looks like it's going to get even worse in the next few days because they're going to keep doing this. They're going to keep finding people that'll listen to their story, and they're going to feed them the BS, and those people are going to write it, and people are going to talk about it exactly the way that we are and exactly the way people are responding to it on social media, is essentially laughing at it.
Just makes them look worse. We weren't trying to get more money. Yeah, because you hold out. You skip practice in an effort to get better offensive linemen.
Here's the thing that I need. If the family's going to do this, and you're going to try to tell me that you went to the head coach and said, are you going to recruit offensive linemen? Are you going to get receivers in to help our kid out? Are you going to get running backs to take some of the load off? I want to know what was the unsatisfactory response that you got from Josh Heupel at that moment. What did Josh Heupel say that you said, you know what? No.
Can't do it.
No more NIL here. We're out.
Our roster, we can't get any better than we are right now. I refuse to get better than we have. I love where we're at.
When are you going to get rid of these backup linemen and get us more receivers? We saw that you took a linebacker yesterday, and we need offensive linemen. What was the response that set you off there? I need to know that. I need to hear that. And that should have been the follow-up question. Oh, what was his response to that forced your kid, outside of needing a mental health day, to not go to practice the day before the spring game? Were they not going to play the receivers and offensive linemen in the spring game?
Maybe that was the case.
I need to know what was said that you said, you know what? No, we're out.
Not going to do it.
There's no way.
Not doing this.
I don't understand how if someone could honestly sit there and say, this is the damage control tactic. Like, think about the people that are advising this group. Seriously.
There's not. The group is advising itself.
Lloyd Flanders or whatever the guy's name is. What was
Ned?
his name? Ned Flanders. Whatever the guy's name is. You said his name earlier. Former coach at Florida. Ned Flanders.
Yeah. Him.
Floyd Landis. Whatever it is. I don't know who these people are. What's his name?
I don't recall.
I looked him up
right
earlier. Now. He's like, yes, just a guy from LA that made it. Well, you made it.
That's pretty sweet, by the way. That's
What's
never
that?
happened before. A guy from LA that made it.
No. Can't happen.
I mean, Ice Cube just got his handprints and Chuck Taylor prints in the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
There we go.
It might have made it, but
He
he
ain't
lost
trying to
it.
tell Nico what to do.
I bet you Ice Cube wouldn't have made it if he had gone to Dr. Dre and said, hey,
If his
this
dad
Eazy-E,
would have gone on his behalf, he wouldn't have made it.
I need some better guys around me. This Eazy-E guy, hey, I need this guy can't do it.
Are
I
we
need some more.
talking NWA Ice Cube or are we there yet Ice Cube?
All right.
Hey,
Very
he ain't
different.
turned down a check.
Yeah.
He ain't turned down a check.
What I need is
Next Friday,
microphones
Ice
and
Cube.
recorders to record songs. Are you willing to do that for me? You are? I'm out.
It's wild.
Oh gosh.
Appreciate
Really
Pat
good.
Dooley stopping in today. Appreciate Pete Nakos stopping in today. More Portal Madness tomorrow. And the coach, Wim Sanderson, will be with us. Keep it locked, 7 to 10 a.m. 3-man front is next.